NBA playoffs. 40 games in 40 nights. The exclusive home of the Eastern Conference Finals. High definition, high drama. This is TNT.
Champions in the making. New beginnings and ultimatums next on TNT. The Wizards and Bulls have played to a stalemate, capturing 2 games apiece. But in the playoffs, ties are temporary. The blueprint calls for winners. When there's no clear path to victory, revise the plans and make one. In Game 4, San Antonio restored the natural order. Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker combined for 92 points as the Spurs won in overtime.
Tony Parker delivered the dagger.
Now the Nuggets are officially on win-or-go-home status. All the hype, all the promise, all the buildup comes to this, Game 5. The NBA playoffs on TNT. The blueprint continues next.
We welcome you to Game 1 of TNT's playoff doubleheader. A sellout crowd, better than 21,000, will pack the United Center here in Chicago as this series has progressed to a pivotal Game 5 with the Wizards battling back, evening things up at 2. It's the Washington Wizards facing the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls taking the first 2 games here in Chicago. The Wizards winning 2 in Washington, bringing us to tonight's game number 5. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr. Flip Saunders will be joined in a moment by Craig Sager. Scott Skiles telling us just moments ago that he felt his team was shell-shocked on Monday night in Washington right from the opening tip. Washington led by as many as 28. It was a rout despite what the final score told us. What do you think the Wizards have going for them here tonight?
Well, they have all the momentum right now in the series, Marv, and if they're going to continue that momentum and win in Game 5 here tonight, they've got to get solid offensive execution. The first 2 games here in the United Center, they were awful. It was 1 pass and a shot, but since then, they've made the adjustment. They're moving the basketball. You see their shooting percentage has gone up each and every game, and I think it's a direct result of the play of Gilbert Arenas, the gifted young point guard. Has terrific numbers all series, but it's been the last 2 ball games where he's really shown this club how to win, finding people for open shots, really playing unselfishly. In fact, he did not take a shot in Game 4 until about halfway through the second quarter. So he's got to continue to get this team to move the basketball. I think they'll be in good shape if they do that. But this is a very young team, Marv, very inexperienced ball club. Be tough surroundings here in the United Center for Game 5.
All right, Flip, as for the Bulls, they came into this series without 2 of their key players. Eddie Curry sidelined by that irregular heartbeat. Luol Deng recovering from wrist surgery, and now additional problems. Chris Duhon bothered by back spasms, played only 9 minutes in Game 4. And Mr. Clutch off the bench, Ben Gordon, has been playing through a touch of the flu and a sore thigh. So, Flip, this is a battered team, but a team that is back home at the United Center.
You know, Marv, they've struggled with injuries all year long and really have fought through them. The NBA's best 6 man, Ben Gordon, has struggled last game, only going 1 for 13 from the field. But a key for them tonight is going to be the young guys. In their first 2 home games, Ben Gordon and Andres Nocioni were both productive and extremely aggressive. If we look here, they scored almost twice as many points at home as on the road and took 23 more field goal attempts. Marv, a big key for them tonight. When you look at young teams, you look at young players, what happens? They play with much more confidence. They're much more relaxed. They shoot the ball better at home. So I think you're going to see them come out really energized tonight from this crowd.
All right, this series has now come down to a best of 3. The Chicago Bulls seeking to gain back home court advantage. The Wizards hoping to make it 3 straight wins with a chance to close it back home on Friday night. We are moments away from the opening tip. Right here, let's check in with Ernie Johnson in our TNT studio.
All right, thank you, Marv. So the series lead is on the line in Chicago in Game 1 of our playoff double dip. Kenny and Charles are here. Let's turn our attention to the nightcap. The Spurs at home with a chance to put away the Denver Nuggets. Overtime, the last game, and Carmelo Anthony goes for 28 and says after the game, they weren't getting the ball to me enough. He took 19 shots, Earl Boykins took 20. George Karl says he had a lot of touches. What do you think of what Melo had to say?
Well, he's going to have to whine tonight, get it out of the system, because they season over after tonight. That's no big deal. He got the ball enough times. San Antonio just got a better team. And, you know, realistically, Denver has not won a game. San Antonio gave them Game 1. and they're going to finish off the backdoor sweep tonight.
I think the touches he gets are frustrated because there's defense there. Normally, in the regular season, when you pitch ahead to Carmelo Anthony, he's able to break down the defense and nobody's there. You break down the defense, you still have to meet Nazr Muhammad, you have to beat Tim Duncan. So it's a little bit different, the type of touches that he's getting.
That's exactly what George Karl pointed out to him, too. He says you got one of the best defensive players in the league and Bruce Bowen on you a lot. And even if it's not Bruce Bowen there, then the second line is guys like Tim Duncan.
No question about it.
Well,
So the touches aren't the same. You get different type of touches. So the frustration comes from not the amount of shots, but the type of shots.
If he was a great player, he wouldn't whine about touches. He'd go to the offensive board or do something else to help his team.
Tim Duncan looked like Tim Duncan the other night, 39 points and 14 rebounds. Any chance San Antonio doesn't seal the deal tonight?
No chance, and because Tim Duncan's finally got his sea legs back, and him and Shaq are the two best players with Kevin Garnett in the world. And if they're guarding him one-on-one, they're going to get in foul trouble. But they play too good a defense. They're going to wrap it up tonight.
San Antonio understands urgency. They understand how to close teams out. That I always say that the series doesn't start until the game of elimination is starting. And this is an elimination game. I think San Antonio understands it. Best in the business.
That's game 2 of our doubleheader here on TNT. Game 1, the Chicago Bulls at home against the Washington Wizards. It's game 5 in a 2-2 series. The Bulls have been a different team at home and on the road. Which team will show up tonight at the United Center? Let's get you back to Chicago and toss it back to Marv Albert.
All right, thanks, Ernie. Back here at the United Center, getting ready for the start of Game 5, just past 6 p.m. here in the Windy City, so the crowd is still filing in. It will be a sellout crowd, better than 21,000 turning out for the Chicago Bulls and the Washington Wizards. Here's a look at the McDonald's starting lineups. And we'll open up with the visiting Wizards. Antawn Jamison getting off to a fast start and in Game 4, scoring 10 of his 18 points in the first quarter. Jamison up front with Aaron Jeffries, Brendan Haywood, Gilbert Arenas with a solid performance Monday night, 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Larry Hughes, only 3 of 16 in Game 4, had the big game here in Game 1 in Chicago. For the Bulls, Scott Skiles telling us earlier they need a high-scoring game from Kirk Heinrich, only 6 of 17 in game number 4. Chris Duhon was a question mark because of the back spasms. In fact, there was a chance that Eric Piatkowski would be the starter, but Duhon will play. And you see the guys up front. And we also see Steve Kerr, who is about to present the ceremonial opening tip. Steve, hearing it from this crowd.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to see if he's going to be able to become a referee or not, because this is the toughest thing that referees have to do sometimes, is the opening tip.
Always tough to make that toss. Steve has been practicing for days, it should be pointed out.
He said he went this morning and spent about an hour just trying to make sure he got the right loft, the right touch, and got everything going on this tip.
Steve, a member of 3 championship teams here in Chicago. And I guess that was the toss. That was it.
He spent all that time, and he just handed the ball to Bob Delaney to get us going.
Anticlimactic. And now we're set for the real guys. And the officials tonight, Derek Stafford, Bob Delaney, and Greg Willard. Antonio Davis and Brendan Haywood will go on the tip. Steve, did you flip it? I didn't even notice.
I wasn't sure what to do with it. Bob Delaney said, you know, it's the first time I've ever seen you catch the ball and not shoot it afterwards.
It was kind of disappointing.
It was a lackluster performance on my part.
So the Bulls control Duhon and Heinrich at the guards. Fella Harrington in early foul trouble the other day. So everyone touching the ball on this first possession. Antonio Davis rebounded by Larry Hughes. And a technical foul is called. It is on Brendan Haywood.
Well, we've documented this before. These guys have had some trouble in the preseason and in a couple of regular season games. You'll see a trip right there, just sticks his leg out, Well, and Harrington gets the tee.
Yes, we earlier in the series talked about the confrontation between the Bulls and the Wizards. Brendan Haywood was involved, in fact, was tossed by Bob Delaney, ejected from one of those earlier regular season meetings. So there was no hesitation right there. An early tee. Might have been a record technical foul in the opening seconds.
We could have our crack staff look that up. I think Doc Rivers was kicked out of a game this year in the first minute or two, if I'm not mistaken.
Jamison pops it out. Hughes with the nice fake and scores. As I mentioned, Larry Hughes in the opening game of this series here in Chicago had a playoff career high 31 points, hitting 10 of his first 12 shots from the field.
But just 3 for 16 in game 4, so that's a big one for him.
Foul one on a traveling violation on Haywood. Jamison pulls it back. And here is Hughes. Rebounded by Davis.
I think the one thing you see in Chicago, the first 2 times down the floor, they've really tried to get the ball inside, and they're really trying to make contact to go into the basket, which I think is important.
Heinrich was rejected by Haywood. Jeffries spinning, lost control, and the Bulls get it back.
Well, the good news for Chicago here early is Chris Duhon obviously in the starting lineup, and he looks pretty active. Looks like he's okay. I think he's critical to Chicago's hopes tonight because he's the guy who has to cover Gilbert Arenas. Really, he anchors their defense, Flip, from that point guard spot.
He gives them the energy. You can see all 5 of their guys are up pressuring their people at the defensive end.
And as Harrington looked to feed it, the outside official, Bob Delaney, with the call on Jeffries.
You can see that the Bulls are really trying to move the basketball. They've gotten several passes in each possession so far. Scott Skiles trying to achieve energy through ball movement. I think that's a great strategy. Unfortunately, the Bulls have not made a shot yet.
Duhon will inbound. Flip, you were saying a moment ago, you don't feel the electricity in the crowd that we felt here earlier in the series.
I don't feel it. I think sometimes when you lose 2, you come home, what you have to do is it's your job to get the crowd into the game. You need to get up defensively, force some issues. You need to score offensively and get the energy, and that will carry over to the crowd, and that'll get things going.
Bulls have a 3-2 lead. And last touch by Arenas. Arenas felt he did not have his hand on the ball.
I don't know if he felt that way. He sure tried to act that way. It was clearly off his hand, and he tried to give a bewildered look to Greg Willard. Greg didn't fall for it, though.
And an illegal screen is set by Antonio Davis.
You can see right now the referees are taking control of the game. This series, there's been a ton of free throws shot by both teams, and I think what they're trying to do is they want them to adjust early in the game. Here's how the game's going to be called. Let the players adjust, and what they can do is they can play a little bit more effective.
Shot clock down to 8. And here is Jamison. Yes. Antawn Jamison, who got off to the quick start. Game 4 on Monday night. 10 of his 18 coming right at the start when the Wizards went up by 14. Nocioni way off. And since that opening game here, he has not been able to find the range. Arenas for 3. Rebounded by Nocioni. Protecting the dribble. You see Jeffries looking for the steal. Duhon being guarded by Arenas. Duhon lost the handle.
You can see there his back a little bit stiff. He had trouble as far as going to the bucket. There you can see a great score on a fast break. And that's the one thing Washington has been able to do is get out and score. Chicago is a great defensive team, but Washington is scoring about 105 points a game, which is way too many if you ask Scott Skiles.
Nocioni over Jeffries again, way off.
He was so hot that first game as Jeffries gets the ball inside and can't quite convert. Since game 1, Nocioni has really struggled with that jump shot, and these 2 early ones were way off, not even close.
Oh, nice play by Jeffries, good hands. Arenas Oh, to the trail of Hughes, and he's fouled.
Well, you love the unselfishness of Gilbert Arenas, but you have to question the decision. He's got a layup. He's so athletic. This is an easy lay-in for him. Loses the ball a little bit, and for Chris Duhon, he's in the circle. That can't feel real good when you have back spasms.
The crowd looking for a charging foul, but Hughes will shoot two. And an early entrance for Ben Gordon. Chris Duhon will sit down.
Well, he looks like he's a little ginger. You noticed Scottie Pippen delivering Ben Gordon the Sixth Man of the Year award pre-game, getting a rousing ovation. Actually, both men receiving a lot of cheers from the fans, but you wonder with Duhon how long he can last. He only has one foul, but he's already out. Scott Skiles obviously feels like he's not looking good physically.
Oh, Nocioni off the good lead pass, so the Wizards now have an 8-5 advantage. Yes, yesterday the announcement, Ben Gordon winning the Sixth Man of the Year award. The only other Bull to win it, as Hughes is able to knock it down from downtown. Tony Kukoc back in 1996. Davis finding Harrington, and he's fouled by Jamison.
Well, you might have seen Nocioni go down pretty hard on that dunk, and I think the disappointing scene for Chicago fans is, watch this, he'll go up, he'll get his leg caught on, looks like Haywood or Jamison. Now watch, Ben Gordon's actually going to come over and help him up. Now, if you're on defense, Ben, you got to get back. It's much more important to stop transition rather than help your guy. I know you're a nice guy and everything.
You want him to help teammates, but that's one situation that you got to get back and help the other three teammates at the other end. Because Washington right now is really pushing the ball up the floor out of turnovers and off missed shots. And so Chicago is going to have to get back defensively to stop their transition points.
A 9-3 run by the Wizards. And they lead it 11-6.
We've seen a lot more of this games 3 and 4. The ball movement, the Princeton offense, ball moving side to side, and now Arenas can attack.
Oh, beautiful pass. Arenas finding Haywood. As you mentioned, Steve, we're seeing a lot more ball movement, and you touched on it during our open, the fact that it was usually one pass maybe and shoot in games 1 and 2 here in Chicago. You never saw the pass that would lead to the pass.
I think you have to attack an excellent defensive team with ball movement, because that puts them on their heels. It creates angles for both shooting and passing. You'll see here after the ball movement, Arenas finds the open Haywood. Washington with the early lead.
Listen up, Sprite Remix. Refresh, rethink, remix. It's all about the new Sprite Remix. Aruba Jam.
Can inspiration redefine the order of things? Can uncommon luxury and heavy power actually rewrite the description of the perfect sports sedan? Apparently so. Introducing the 2005 Motor Trend Car of the Year, the Chrysler 300, starting at $24,100. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
Nice. Very nice. Do you think they're...
Oh yeah, they're plastic. And they're spectacular.
Just in time for summer, it's the Coors Light Cooler Box. 18 16-ounce plastic bottles that stay colder longer. Just ice it up, take it out, and enjoy. The Coors Light Cooler Box.
Wow. Close up, they look even bigger.
Hey, John, They're hard to put down. The new grill burgers at Dairy Queen.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, honey, it's a camera phone. It's 2 camera phones.
Oh, it's a Mother's Day miracle. Oh, hey, I'll take this one.
This year, Mother's Day isn't just for moms. Get Mom an LG VX6100 camera phone from Verizon Wireless for $49.99 and pick up one for yourself free. Plus, you can add unlimited text and picture messaging to your in-calling for just $5 a month from our enhanced service area. But hurry, this deal ends May 8th.
I sent you a picture of the syrup.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
TNT, the exclusive home of the Eastern Conference Finals.
The 2005 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Rocky Mountain Refreshing Coors Light. Taste the cold. By Kingdom of Heaven. Friday, only in theaters. By Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. And by Sprite and Thirst. Reminding you to obey your thirst.
Beautiful 58-degree early evening here in Chicago, and it's time for the Around the Gatorade Cooler Report. Let's go to Craig Sager.
After yet another transgression, the Washington Wizards have decided that Kwame Brown, the #1 pick of the 01 draft, will not be with the team for the remainder of the playoffs. After playing just 4 minutes in Game 3 on Saturday, Brown skipped Sunday's practice and said he had a stomach virus. But that night he was seen at a prominent Chinese restaurant, flaunting his absence from practice as well as his alleged stomach virus, eating Peking duck. Then on Monday, he not only skipped the practice at the shoot-around, but missed the game as well. Tuesday, Vice President of Basketball Operations Ernie Grenfeld and Coach Eddie Jordan met with Brown. The three all decided it would be best if Brown did not stay with the team. He is a free agent at the end of the year. The Wizards have a right to match any offer he gets. However, it was Brown who turned down a 4-year contract extension last summer for $30 million.
Craig, so precise with the report. Was it sorbet or gelato for dessert? And there was a heated exchange between Kwame and Eddie Jordan before practice. You recall similar incidents when Doug Collins and Michael Jordan were running the show in Washington. There's Harrington again. That's his second bucket.
Well, it's such a shame because Kwame Brown obviously has so much ability, but I think it speaks volumes about the need for an age limit in this league. So many of these young men have no life experience. They're not ready for the pressures that they face. I think Kwame Brown probably could have used a couple of years of either college or minor league ball, and maybe he would have been better prepared for the league.
Oh, Jamison able to knock it down. So the Wizards have a 7-point advantage. They are 7 of 11 here at the start.
A totally different team that we're seeing here from what we saw in Game 1. It just ball movement, player movement, much more confident club.
Well, ball movement helps you both offensively and defensively. And what's happening is they're getting breaks coming off. There's Jamison again, long rebound, nice outlet pass for an easy score. Arenas, again, similar to his previous games, he's looking to get other players off in the game. He's not looking for himself, and he's doing a nice job of running the team right now.
Well, the other night, Arenas did not attempt a shot until 5 minutes were left in the first half, and the Wizards at the time were up by 21 points. Foul is called on Hayward.
Well, of course, Arenas is so gifted that he can do anything he wants. You see him here finding Jamison, beautiful feed. The other night when he didn't take a shot until 5 minutes were left in the half, he still finished with 23 points. So he's the kind of guy, I think, who can play the point guard role for as long as he's needed to, get the team in rhythm, and then take over offensively.
As Eddie Jordan said, he has the ability to get off whenever he wants. Again, another turnover. Here's another layup, another fast break. 2 points for Hughes.
So the Wizards, 9 of 13. They have scored on their last 7 possessions. Hughes has 9 points. The Wizards 21. The Bulls 10. Davis wide open over Antawn Thomas, who just checked in. Tyson Chandler just came on with the rebound, and Heinrich converts from downtown.
It's a big play for Chicago. They're kind of hanging by a thread. Flip, you said this crowd is dead. They're looking for something to search for. Bulls with 5 turnovers here early on. They look shaky. It's a big shot for Heinrich.
Well, the other thing that's happened, you can see Scott Skiles has already went to his bench. He's bringing in energy players. Tyson Chandler, you know, those type of people will get the energy going defensively and carry over to the offense and try to get the crowd into the game.
Foul charge to Ben Gordon. Jeffries now up front with Thomas and Jamison, Arenas, and Hughes in the backcourt. And on the inbounds, a holding foul is called. It's been all Washington here at the start. It is on Heinrich.
And that's going to be 2 free throws because the foul was committed before the ball was put in bounds.
Arenas to the line. Gilbert Arenas over the first 4 games averaging 26 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
And you notice he's also wearing the John Stockton shorts. You heard the story the other day. The league gave Washington a warning about the length of the shorts of Arenas and I believe Hughes and Jamison. And now look, all of a sudden, it's almost like he's making a protest. He said, all right, I'm going with the John Stockton specials.
I'm sure the way they played last game to start out, they're going to wear the same shorts.
Yeah, that's right.
Wizards say that the players have been dressing that way for the first 85 games of the season. I guess Juan Dixon also in that fashion category.
And Eddie Jordan was walking around the locker room with a yardstick, making sure everybody was in compliance with Steve Jackson's rules.
Heinrich floating it up for Chandler. And let's see what the call is here. Apparently a foul on Chandler. So the ball back to the Wizards, and Scott Skiles did not like that call, and he has been hit with a technical foul.
Well, he's trying to get his team going. He felt that Chandler had good position there under the hoop. Maybe stuck his backside out a little bit to draw the contact. Eric Stafford saw it differently.
Arenas will shoot the tee. And the Wizards opening up in the same manner they did in Game 4 on Monday night.
Well, you see the little push with the left arm. That's a good call. And when I first saw it, I thought maybe he had position, but definitely got a little push off there, and Eric Stafford didn't miss it.
I think both players were really surprised on how bad the shot was. The shot really didn't even hardly hit the rim, or didn't hit the rim.
And a double dribble will give the ball back to the Bulls.
You can see right now Scott Skiles is doing whatever he can. He's putting players in the game. He's starting to become more emotional on the side. He knows that he's got to get these guys emotionally and playing more aggressive. They'll probably start going to Ben Gordon here to try to create some things, one-on-one situations. Like those two.
And Ben Gordon, who hit only 1 of 13 in Game 4, able to hit on that runner.
Well, Skiles knows that this is a critical game, and Washington was not a good road team during the season as Hughes knocks down the jumper. Washington was 16-25 on the road this year, so they're not a team that's going to be extremely confident in this building. It's important for Chicago to get into this game right away.
Here's Griffin, who just came on. Nice move by Adrian Griffin.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, he does all the little things. I know, Steve, the other time you said he plays like an old guy, and I think what you're trying to refer to is that he does all the little things. You know, when you're a little bit older, you're a little bit smarter when you play. You don't rely on athletic ability.
Yes, that's what I meant.
So Steve now has flipped, trying to clear things up.
Yeah.
It's good. Arenas with 7 points, and the Wizards now lead at 28-17.
And with Duhan out, Arenas is going to have his way a little bit with the Bulls guards. Neither Heinrich nor Gordon can stick in front of him as Duhan can.
Chandler with the bucket, and he was fouled. He was blocked, so Chandler will go to the line. Foul on Thomas.
This is something the Bulls have lived off this series. The screen and roll action. Chandler coming off after setting that nice pick. Antawn Thomas a little late rotating. Chandler with the hoop.
Tyson Chandler only a 67% free throw shooter, looking for a 3-point play. 3:09 remaining in this opening quarter. 28-19, Washington with the lead, and a timeout is called by Eddie Jordan. So the Wizards will talk it over. Good start once again by Washington. Wizards 11 of 15 from the field, shooting 73%. Another fast start for the Wizards. They're up 28-19. Larry Hughes, who shot only 3 of 16 in Game 4, has connected on 4 of his first 5, looking very sharp in this first quarter.
Now he's got 11 points here in the early going. The first of which came off a nice feed from Jamison, the pump fake, the one dribble jump shot. Here's the steal from Arenas that leads to the easy dunk. That's 8 fast break points already for Washington. Then look at the crossover getting right by Ben Gordon, the easy jumper in the lane. He's off to a fantastic start.
And you know, one thing what Eddie Jordan talked about is that he gives Hughes freedom in game situations to create a little bit more. Sometimes he might take shots that might seem questionable, but he never wants to take away his aggressiveness with the ball.
Foul on Heinrich. Very aggressive on Arenas. Bulls felt they were very close to a 5-second count. So Heinrich called for his second foul. Let's go over to Craig Sager. Craig?
Marv, you mentioned the back spasms by Chris Duhon. He went to the doctor this afternoon after practice, got some treatment, tried to warm up, was in pain, but said he was going to give it a go. Then he took the charge. Then he also fell into the cameraman diving for a loose ball. So these last few minutes, they've been laying on the ground, putting a heat treatment, and also on his back. Now finally, apparently, you do not want it to stiffen up and keep him out too long, so he's going back in.
All right, Craig Duhon played the first 4 minutes, then sat down. Gordon came on. That foul by Heinrich is second. He departs. Bulls over the foul limit. Down to 3 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Griffin on the rebound. So Chicago with a backcourt of Gordon and Duhon, Davis, Chandler, and Griffin on the front line. Gordon gets the pick. And then on a switch. The steal by Hughes. Arenas with Griffin back. And Griffin came up with the steal.
There's a hustle by Duhon getting back. You saw Washington go with a little zone last time. That's what they've tried to do to combat this screen and roll situation. You see it again here. The help from Arenas.
Gordon not able to hit. And back come the Wizards.
Also, Steve, a lot of times out of that zone, it can help you offensively. You're in a perfect position for rebounds, and you're in a perfect position to get out and run your transition.
Thomas with a nice pass to Hughes. Antawn Thomas has played so well off the bench. Had that huge impact in game 3, 20 points, 8 of 9, 9 rebounds, just 23 minutes.
And that's why you throw him the ball. Even though he's not a spectacular offensive player, throw him the ball. He's a threat. He can make a pass.
That time a foul is called with Hughes and Thomas all over Gordon. Hughes called for the foul. That's his first.
Well, this has been the theme in games 3 and 4, and now here early in game 5. Ball movement, player movement, get the ball side to side. You force the defense to react, and you open up passing lanes.
Yeah, right now, Washington is a totally different team than they were early in the series as far as their ball movement, player movement.
And the Wizards are now over the foul limit. Reminder, national coverage of the NBA postseason will continue Friday night on ESPN. Game 6 between the Bulls and Wizards, followed by Game 6 of the Spurs and Nuggets, if there is a Game 6, coverage starting 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Well, remember what Pete Carrill told us at the beginning of this season? He said, he had that wonderful quote. He said, passing takes the tension out of the game. And of course, he's the founder of this Princeton offense. You see Duhon with the deflection. But he told us, look, when you pass the ball, it takes the tension out of things. And you can really see it in the last couple of games. Washington has taken the tension out of this ball game. Move the ball, make the easy play, just simplify everything and let your athletic ability take over.
Well, the other night, they had a possession as Hughes tries to get it down low. Here's Griffin, chased by Jeffries. Gordon. Gordon from Griffin, and the Wizard lead is now 7. They actually had a possession, the Wizards did, the other night where they made 7 passes on 1 possession, leading to a jumper by Juan Dixon. Now, that is very unusual.
Especially after game 2, as Jamison hits the tough perimeter shot. But for game 2, you and I watched Flip, and they had about 7 or 8 possessions with 0 passes.
Ben Gordon from downtown to cut it to a 6-point Wizard lead. Washington is led by as many as 11. And Gordon with 9 points in 7 minutes of play. Here's Hughes. Draws the foul. He's headed to the line.
Well, this is the 3rd consecutive game that Washington has taken a pretty big first quarter lead. And remember, Scott Skiles told us before the game, we have to have somebody just step up and knock down some shots. If we don't get about 2 or 3 guys with 17, 19 points, guys just making shots, we're in trouble. Ben Gordon obviously picking it up here early on.
Well, right now, you look at Washington, they're shooting 76% from the field, And the Chicago Bulls during the regular season led the league in field goal percentage defensively at about 42%. So I'm sure Scott Skiles is telling his players right now, dig in defensively, keep on digging. Eventually that shooting percentage is going to come down and we can run out of our defense and try to get some easy baskets and get this crowd into the game a little bit.
Larry Hughes, a 78% free throw shooter. Eric Piatkowski has checked in for the first time. He was nearly in the starting lineup when there was a question concerning the injury status of Chris Duhon, and Scott Skiles telling us that he'd like to use Piatkowski's length on Hughes. Chandler taking it to the rim, so the Bulls with a rally are within 4.
You'd like to see it. They did that in the first 2 games at home. They established inside play and pick and roll offense, and I think that's what they're trying to do right now a little bit, Steve.
Arenas fighting Jeffries. Nice play.
There's that penetration we saw from Arenas in games 3 and 4 that led to the feed for the bucket. Every time a guy like Jeffries gets a hoop in this game, it's hugely helpful to Washington. Just gets them into a team rhythm.
1 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock as this first quarter winds down. Griffin with a nice fake. And here comes Arenas from center court. Fast start by the Wizards. They led by as many as 11, but the Bulls have come charging back after 1 here in Chicago. Game 5 of this best of 7. It's the Wizards 34 and the Bulls 28.
When you think it's over, remember this. It hasn't even begun.
When it comes to food, you need a light beer that measures up. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Taste for yourself. Miller. Good call.
It can change the channel from here, adjust the volume from over here, and control what your kids can and can't watch on TV, even when you're miles away. It's your remote control, and you can use it to restrict access to any channel you don't want your kids watching, and to automatically block shows based on ratings. Talk about remote control. To learn more, visit controlyourtv.org. Cable TV. Take control. It's easy.
Can inspiration replace the typical small car with something that lives a little larger? More space, more function, more sizzle. America's best small car alternative just got a little better. The Chrysler PT Cruiser, now starting at just $14,170. Chrysler, inspiration comes standard.
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Destroy the Sith. We must. Rated PG-13.
Look at that little fella. He's got enough poison in him to kill an elephant. That's right. An elephant.
Don't step away from what you're doing.
Don't need to be a bitch about it.
If I liked being called a bitch to my face, I'd still be married. Hi, Mama.
She waltzes in here from 3,000 miles away, and she outranks me.
We need to focus on progress.
Have you been able to figure out how Dr. Coyer was able to get rid of his fingerprints?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why does everyone think I'm so horrible? I warned you about lying. Thank you.
Back in Chicago, look at the downtown area. That is Lincoln Park. as we head to the second quarter here at the United Center. 6-point Washington lead. Both teams hot. Wizards 14 of 19 shooting. Bulls 11 of 20. Head coach of the Bulls, Scott Skiles, second year as the head man of Chicago, taking over last season from Bill Cartwright. Bulls went just 19 and 47. He and general manager John Paxson pulling off the dramatic turnaround. Nice pass. Thomas with the bucket and the foul. Chicago went 47-35 in the regular season, finished as the number 4 seed as they won 15 of their last 19 games. Foul is on Antonio Davis. And here they are against the number 5 seed, the Wizards, who also turned things around. A 20-game improvement from a year ago. They go 45 and 37 for Eddie Jordan.
And you know how badly Scott Skiles would like to have his 2 starters, Luol Deng and Eddie Curry, in this series. He lost 28 points per game, and more than that, you lose some depth because the 2 guys starting for them would be on the bench. And it's so difficult to win with 2 starters and an inside presence like Curry on the bench.
What happens, role players have to step up, and now the players that were at the end of the bench have to step into those role positions, so everything's different.
There's Eddie Curry out with the irregular heartbeat, and Luol Deng recovering from surgery on his right wrist. This is Duhan. Nearly got the hop. Back comes Arenas. We're just underway in the second quarter. Juan Dixon, who just checked in, not able to hit on his first attempt. That was from beyond the 3-point line. What a performance by Juan Dixon the other night. Duhan getting it high over the outstretched arm of Antawn Thomas.
You have to really like his aggressiveness. The last 2 plays, he came down, took a shot, didn't go in, but he came right back into a pick and roll situation and shot a nice teardrop, kind of like your shot, Steve, over those guys in the paint.
Dixon trying to find Arenas. Juan Dixon the other night bounced back from a 1 for 10 in game 3. Had a career high 35 points, 11 of 15 from the field, 3 from 3-point land.
Said he took about 1,500 shots between games, so he was prepared.
Can you overdo it? Obviously, Dixon did not.
Well, Gilbert Arenas did before game 1 as Griffin misses the jumper. Arenas had a similar preparation for these playoffs and looked dead tired in game 1, but obviously it paid off for Dixon, and you know, it's revisionist history. We can say whatever it is after the fact, right?
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, so that's what we do as broadcasters, Mark.
Speak for yourself.
You've made a career of that, Mark.
2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Wizards up by 7. They open it up for Harrington. It goes right at Thomas. Nice move by Othello Harrington.
Yeah, Othello just backed him down, kept on backing him down, got him under the bucket. His favorite shot is over that right shoulder, that little jump hook.
Remember what Scott Skiles told us before the game. He said Washington's big men have manhandled us all series. So this is something he wanted to do early. Get the ball inside and take the ball to Washington. Make an impact from the front court for Chicago.
Harrington has hit on his first 4 shots. Never got into it the other night. An early foul trouble. Picked up 2 the first 2.5 minutes through the hands of Thomas. And the officials checking with each other. Last touched by Chandler. A call from Greg Willard. So 5 on the shot clock for the Wizards.
Let's see if we can see who the ball went off of. I think it looked like it glanced off Chandler's knee, but it's a tough angle for us.
Michael Ruffin has come on for the first time. He's played well in this series. Dixon, there's the teardrop by Juan Dixon. And following that 1 for 10 in game 3, he stopped Eddie Jordan after practice on Sunday in the parking garage and begged Eddie not to lose faith in him. And Eddie was looking to go to a restaurant, grab a bite, and say, all right, it's okay, you're going to play.
Enough already. But Flip, don't you like that as a coach when your players communicate with you and let you know how they're feeling?
You know, you do like that. It shows, one, that they have confidence in themselves. They're not afraid. They want to take shots. And he's come in, he's taken 3 shots in the first 3 minutes of this quarter and made 2 of them, and he's getting them going. Back here, they've gone into a zone to try to eliminate Chicago's pick and rolls, and they've done a pretty good job here in the last couple minutes.
Flip, have you ever thought to yourself as a player would come to you and feels down and says, you know, you got to have faith in me, where as Harrington fires one up and you say, will you get away from me? This is really annoying.
Well, because it doesn't happen very often. I think when it does happen, you take advantage of it.
That will not count. Foul before the shot attempt. Foul out of Fella Harrington, and a timeout called. 8.5 remaining in this first half, and Washington up by 9.
Well, confidence carries over from one game to the next. Dixon 10 for 15 in game 4. He comes out hot here early in game 5. First the jumper and then the teardrop up and over Harrington.
I just thought I'd add a little something on the end.
It's showtime! Drumline, bringing the beat home this Friday night at 8 on TNT.
All right, here's one. You're stranded on the island. Name 3 things that you want with you.
A beautiful woman, an endless supply of Bud Light, and oh yeah, another beautiful woman. You know?
Hey, Sam. When are you gonna paint the hut? Not until he builds the raft. He said he was gonna build the raft yesterday. Girl, my mama told me not to get stranded with him.
Oh, I got to work on my fantasies.
Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
It's all here.
Ow. Yeah, that kind of burns a little. A little help here. I think someone's gonna have to suck the poison out.
Yeah. We better find somebody fast.
Go new places, experience new things. Forerunner, now that's moving you forward.
A team of FBI profilers is hunting for a murderer.
He's killed 2 people. He's about to kill a 3rd.
FBI! They have eliminated all possible suspects.
The killer's in this room.
Except each other.
This is a trap.
We have a DNA match.
I know it's not me.
I know it's not me.
Suspecting each other, fighting each other. This is what the killer wants.
Mind Hunters. Rated R. In theaters Friday, May 13th.
Be smart.
Be independent.
Be powerful.
Be frugal.
Be strong.
Be opportunistic.
Be unafraid. Be patient. Be unemotional.
Be ruthless.
Be shrewd.
Be confident.
Be first.
Be ready.
Focus. Be sure.
In other words, be extraordinary. With a totally customizable platform and new low pricing for stock and options trading, Power E-Trade Pro is dramatically upgraded. At E-Trade Financial, we keep challenging the ordinary to help investors be extraordinary.
Welcome back to Chicago. With Ben Gordon receiving the NBA's 6th Man Award tonight, one more piece of hardware added to the trophy case of this storied franchise. The 6 NBA championship trophies are on display here at the United Center. When I went to practice today at the Berto Center Deerfield, I came across an award that is a little lesser known. In 1996, the Chicago Bulls teammates, including Scottie Pippen and Bill Wennington, presented the Moth Award to Steve Kerr. I asked what the Moth Award was. They said every time we had a game, the lights came on, there was Steve fluttering in front of the cameras.
That's
Marv?
terrible. And I noticed Bill Wennington was enjoying that.
Oh, yeah.
Bill was right alongside you, as I recall.
Actually, Bill was the leading vote getter, but I think he changed the results at the end.
I have a feeling Kenny the Jet Smith is going to be requesting that particular trophy to have it alongside him. Traveling violation is called.
There's Bill. He was, if I was the Moth, then I don't know what he was. He was the Firefly or something. But, you know, Michael and Scotty would rarely talk to the press, so they'd always go down the list and eventually talk to us.
You were not volunteering?
Oh, I volunteered, all right.
You were just looking like this.
Anybody want to talk to me?
You were preparing for your broadcast
That's right.
career at an early stage.
At an early stage, that's right.
You were smart. Steve, many times as a coach, I always talk to our players. It's not the 5 best players that actually maybe play the best, but it's the 5 best players that play the best together. And Brendan Hayward, over the course of their 82 games, had the best plus-minus. When he was on the floor, they seem to be more positives happen than negatives. And tonight you can see he's a plus 13 when he's on the floor and a minus 4 when he's not on the floor in 8 minutes. What he does is that he does a lot of little things. He patrols the paint defensively. He sets good screens. And tonight he's gotten some nice feeds off of penetration from both Arenas and Hughes.
Brendan Hayward in his 4th NBA season out of North Carolina, originally a first-round pick of the Cavaliers, traded to Orlando and then quickly dealt to Washington. Here's Heinrich for 3. Kurt Heinrich from downtown. He sat for a while after picking up a second foul. 7 points for Heinrich. Both clubs shooting exceptionally well in this first half. Wizards 17 of 24. That's 71%. And a foul is called on Chicago off the fake by Hughes. He was sandwiched. Chicago is 14 of 27, 52%. Hughes shaken up on the play. And the officials discussing as to who the foul was called on. And it is Nocioni, and they're saying a non-shooting foul.
Oh, this is something Larry Hughes does very well. Show the ball on the pump fake off that little dribble handoff, and it's like 2 guys get him. I think they got Nocioni for the foul. I'm not sure he wasn't shooting there, though. Looked like he should be at the foul line.
Eddie Jordan is extremely upset. And when you look at the replay, you can see that he was in his motion going up for his shot. Didn't get it off because he did get fouled, and it was a pretty hard foul.
According to the officiating crew, they felt he was passing. Beautiful pass from Dixon to Ruffin.
It's a totally different team we're seeing. Ever since Charles Barkley ripped this club in the halftime show, they're moving the ball. They're running more of that Princeton offense than we've seen really this entire series.
So you are indicating Sir Charles turned things around.
He was a motivating factor.
Well, you did mention something on one of the broadcasts about the 1 passes, though, too, so I'm going to give you some credit.
You give me a little credit, too.
Foul on Jamison. That is his second. We're told Gilbert Arenas watched the telecast with the sound up and was very impressed with the production of the broadcast, like the roll-ins and
the B-roll.
Yeah. Heinrich's pass thrown away. He thought Chandler was going to remain in that left-hand corner.
One difference when you look at Washington here coming down in the break situation is that for the first couple games is that Dixon and their guards, not only are they looking to shoot, but they're looking to create for other people, and they're making that extra pass.
Offensive foul. Antawn Jamison does not like the call. It is on Jamison. Wizards up by 9, 5 minutes gone by in this second quarter, so that is number 3 on Jamison.
That's a big one. Jamison has really come on in this series the last couple of games, and I think it's a direct result of the ball movement. Flip, you talked about the guards trying to create for others. That's exactly what Juan Dixon did right here, finding Jamison, but great job by Harrington getting position, holding his ground, and drawing the charge.
Jamison sitting down, Jeffries back. Here's Gordon. Rebound Gordon off the fake. Rejected by Hayward. Kept alive by the Bulls. Jeffries with those long arms getting a piece of that pass. Shot clock down to 12. Here's Gordon. Harrington changed his mind, and he gets a break. It was deflected off the leg of Hayward. He had nowhere to go.
And nowhere to pass it to. Extremely fortunate. And the Wizards bench wanted to travel.
Yeah, Hayward's been on that play. He was unbelievable. Blocked the shot, contested the shot, and then forced another missed shot. Here he is again, contested the first shot inside, made him kick the ball back out.
And that is deflected out. Nocioni coming together with Jeffries. Bob Delaney says last touch by Nocioni. Like Jeffries hurt his arm.
Well, let's take a look. Looks like it hits Nocioni there. Now the question is, does Jeffries hit it? Sure looks like it. Scott Skiles has reason to be upset.
Scott had a better look than the refs on that one from where it was at.
Hayward, Ruffin, Jeffries. Up front, Dixon and Arenas in the backcourt. Here's Dixon on a quick release, and he continues the hot shooting. 3 of 4 from the field. 6 points. This coming off the 11 of 15 for 35 points. Chandler gets inside. Chandler with the tip. And back comes Dixon. Dixon to the crossover. Dixon. Nocioni able to get to it. And here are the Bulls on a break. Arenas back. Heinrich goes right at him. Heinrich way off. Rebound Chandler. Chandler with the bucket and the foul.
Well, Chicago, you can feel it in this crowd here at the United Center. Kind of hanging on here, desperate for any kind of energy they can get. And Tyson Chandler provides some. Offensive rebound, gathers himself, the putback, he draws the foul.
I used to start each day feeling inadequate, powerless, but I didn't know why. Achieving my goals and aspirations just seemed impossible. Then one day, I discovered the 245 horsepower Toyota Tacoma. Now I start my days invigorated. In fact, I'm living the dream.
The 2005 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Toyota Trucks, moving forward.
We're in the second heat of extra time. It's been a grueling match for both teams. Chad chases the ball. Ramos takes the ball. Oh, man!
The longer and harder you exercise, the more severe your hydration needs become, and that can cause you to fall apart. That's why there's new Gatorade Endurance Formula. This unique 5-electrolyte formula puts back more of what your body loses during your most punishing activities. New Gatorade Endurance Formula.
A superstar on the road to glory, Trinidad is in devastating form. A true champion ready for the spotlight. Wright wants to stop him in his tracks. When invincible meets indomitable, it's a head-on collision. Trinidad versus Wright, Saturday, May 14th, live on DirecTV pay-per-view. Don't miss Trinidad versus Wright, live on DirecTV pay-per-view, channel 123. Is the light at the end of the tunnel an oncoming train?
All the baseball you want and then some. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV. More of your favorite players. More of your favorite teams. And all the pennant races. Up to 60 games each week you won't get if you don't call. MLB Extra Innings from DirecTV.
The 2005 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And by McDonald's.
They take the worst shots. They take more one-pass shots than any team I've seen in a long time. I mean, nobody can get in rhythm. It's like they're going one-on-one every single time. It's frustrating to watch.
Well, it was on at halftime when we came into the office, and he says we're just jacking up shots. And I never knew Charles to pass the ball unless he was triple teamed. So when the ball touched his hand, it was jacking up. But that's the way we play, Charles, and I think it's exciting. It's good for the NBA, and yet we're still disciplined.
All right, this all took place after Game 3, and we were talking with Eddie Jordan earlier today, and I think we all got the impression, I don't think Eddie was really that upset with what Charles had to say. It kind of got the message across.
I think so, and to be fair to Washington, Game 3, they did a better job of ball movement. They were kind of back and forth with it. They were just in the process of figuring it out, and in the second half, they did a much better job moving.
Here's Ruffin getting inside. Michael Ruffin with a strong move.
Just what we're talking about right there, Steve. Ball movement, player movement, and as a coach, getting back to the point you make, you don't mind watching film and having somebody else say something that you really want to say. And because then when you say it, it's an emphasize. You say, listen, these guys are looking in the studio, they're watching the game, and they see that we're not playing team basketball. If we do that, guys, it's going to make the game easier. And so, therefore, it just reemphasizes how you want to play.
And here they are shooting 71% with all this ball movement. They've got 12 assists. It's a totally different team. So Eddie ought to thank Charles, maybe send him a note after the season.
Charles might want to start coaching. We better watch out.
Or perhaps a gift. Nice pass. Harrington was by himself. Missed assignment on the part of the Wizards. 5 minutes left in this first half. Wizards 48 and the Bulls 39.
Don't you sense right here, Steve, that both the Bulls and the crowd are just waiting for a run to happen?
Yeah, there's not much energy in here. And remember what Eddie Jordan told us before the game. His team is much more comfortable now coming back to this arena as Haywood misses the jump hook. But they know what to expect now. He felt they would come out much stronger, and they certainly have.
Harrington, Chandler, Alcione up front. Gordon, Heinrich in the backcourt. Foul called on Haywood. And that is team foul number 3 on Washington.
It really is amazing. We talk so often about how one play can change a game, one game can change a series. I thought Game 3 changed everything when Washington started to figure out, okay, this is how we have to play the game. Move the ball, get some easier shots. Changed everything, and you can feel they are certainly the team that's in control here tonight.
Now what has to happen, Chicago has to make an adjustment to that. I think what you'll see, what they're doing right now is they're trying to go inside. They're being aggressive to the basket to either score or get to the free throw line, hoping that maybe free throws can get them back into the game and they can regain momentum.
8-point Wizard lead. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Flip Saunders, and Craig Sager. We're at the United Center in Chicago. Game 5 of this best of 7, the series. Tied at 2. Bulls winning the first 2 here at home. Wizards coming back, taking the 2 at the MCI Center. Nice play. Haywood able to finish. Beautifully done again by the Wizards.
13th assist for Washington. This was one of the worst assist teams in the league all year. I believe they finished 25th out of the 30 teams, but they're moving it here tonight.
How about Arenas? 5 assists in the first half.
And what they're doing, Steve, Marv, they're making easy plays. They're not making difficult passes. They're making easy passes, which I say usually lead easy passes lead to easy baskets.
The hockey assist that we talked about last week. A lot of hockey assists here tonight.
Which means the pass that leads to the pass to the bucket. Haywood with a driving hook. Whoa.
Is that Bill Russell there? A swinging hook.
He must be hearing our broadcast, how we're bragging about him a little bit. He's trying to live up to how we're talking about him right now.
Haywood 4-5. He has 8 points. Washington by 12. Here's Gordon with some room. Then Gordon brings the Bulls within 10. 11 points for Gordon. Haywood trying to get position on Chandler. Once again to the turnaround and gets the hop.
Unbelievable. Who is this guy?
I think that was under the rim and then kicked over the rim to go in. But he's playing very aggressive and playing with a lot of confidence at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he's talking a lot defensively and really helping out on all these pick and rolls.
10 points and 3 blocked shots for Haywood. Heinrich. Yes, that's a 3 for Kirk Heinrich.
Well, Washington has mixed that zone defense in quite a bit here in this series, and Bulls have now gotten a couple of open threes for Heinrich. We'll see if Jordan goes back to the man-to-man.
A weakness of that zone is getting the ball to the baseline to make bigs guard guards on the baseline.
Hughes, Ruffin, able to keep it alive. Nice pass. Ruffin for Hughes, but Hughes came up short. Here's Gordon with Ruffin hustling back, and the foul on Ruffin. So Gordon will go to the foul line. 2:18 left in the first half. A timeout taken. Wizards lead by 9 points. They have been on fire. 23 of 35 shooting for Washington. 66% in this first half.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created this simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to LA is red, Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue, Chicago to Seattle, yellow, LA to Austin, canary yellow, Orlando to Albuquerque, teal, Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine, Buffalo to Phoenix, beige umber, Philadelphia to Oakland, pistachio, Oakland to Chicago, sea green, Albany to Orlando, puce, Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish, New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Listen up, Sprite Remix. Refresh, rethink, remix. It's all about the new Sprite Remix. Aruba Job.
Wow. Oh, somebody's got to do this. Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Matt. that far, Maddie. You got this.
Oh. Wow, you really stuck that landing.
Shut it.
Go new places, experience new things. Forerunner, now that's moving you forward.
11 p.m. It's Albert and Ben. 2:10. What's up with your friend? It's 3:42. That girl rocks. She's got more skills than you. Now it's 5:38. Thoughts of McGriddles make my stomach quake. For bacon, eggs, and cheese on sweet griddle cakes. Only takes one hand to put them all in my face. McDonald's, I'm loving it. McGriddles, breakfast for you, bedtime snack for me.
Hello? Do all wax. Please don't kill me.
House of Wax, rated R, starts this Friday.
You know, no one enjoys the drama and the excitement of the NBA playoffs more than I do. But sometimes I miss the dead bodies.
See Law & Order weeknights on TNT.
I really love that show.
Executive producer Steven Spielberg and DreamWorks Television present a 6-week television event, Into the West, starting June 10th only on TNT.
Back in Chicago, the Wizards have led the Bulls by as many as 12. They're up here by 9, and they have done it with excellent ball movement.
Well, you see this chart, and we count this with a pass beginning after the ball's crossed half court. So you see 0 passes. A lot of these have led to fast break points. 1 pass, a lot of turnovers that the Bulls have made that have led to layups. But you look down at the bottom, 14 points and 8 points respectively on possessions where they had at least 2 or 3 passes. And you see the numbers, 14 assists here this evening for Washington. This club is averaging 18 for the series. So they've made the adjustments and really are running that offense smoothly.
This is one of the reasons you can look that they're shooting 66% from the field. They're making easy plays, easy passes, they're getting easy buckets. And what's happening is that the guards are doing creative type situations and they're getting their big guys easy buckets.
Anthony Peeler has come on for the first time for the Wizards. Lawrence Funderburk checks in for the first time for the Bulls as we approach 2 minutes to play in this first half. Hughes with a nice fake. He had 2 guys going in different directions.
Right back to the Princeton offense. Flip, they get the ball into the front court, swing it side to side, 4 or 5 passes. They get a cut into the lane, and Hughes with the easy look and gets the foul.
Foul is called on Gordon, so that's 3 on Ben Gordon as Hughes goes to the foul line. Let's check in with Ernie in our Atlanta studios.
All right, thank you, Marv. Coming up at halftime, Charles and Kenny will be here with their usual insightful analysis of the first half, and then we'll look ahead to Game 2 of our doubleheader. You'll hear from Kenyon Martin of the Nuggets, who face elimination tonight in San Antonio. Now back to you, Marv.
All right, thanks, Ernie. Gennaro Pargo has checked in for Ben Gordon, who just collected his third. Pargo, game 4 the other night, with 4 of 6 from downtown with the game out of sight, although he had 10 of his 18 points in the final 67 seconds. Here's Chandler. So the Wizards back in possession. Pargo now defending on Arenas. Arenas and Hughes in the backcourt. Haywood with Peeler, Jeffries up front.
And immediately the Wizards go right at Pargo, who's really outmatched physically by Gilbert Arenas' size. You see the foul by Pargo. That's a tough cover for him down on the block, and you'll see that Wizards run a little ball movement, get Arenas into the position they want him, and then you see the hand check right there. It's a touch foul, but that's the call that really the officials have initiated this year with those new rules.
And what you like is how they got Arenas the ball. As you said, most they ran a bat. They came off the top of the Princeton offense. They just didn't run him down the post. What they did is they ran some movement to get him there. So it's much more difficult for the defense to lock in onto him and double team him when he does get the ball.
And with the Bulls over the foul limit, Arenas able to take advantage. Gennaro Pargo listed at 6'1", 175 pounds. As you would say, Steve, a generous listener.
As I would say, I believe you just said that. I mean, you say it, you know, with such a questionable tone. Listed at 6'1". I mean, it sounds like you're questioning the Bulls training staff.
Publicity staff. A offensive foul. It is on Heinrich, so that's number 3.
Well, take a look at Heinrich with the penetration. Tries to shoot that little floater up and over Jeffries, and he gets good position outside that little arc. Draws the charge. That's a big one for Heinrich. Scott Skiles has to have him out there tonight. We've hardly seen Chris Duhon. He's played 11 minutes, but you know he's hurting. So Heinrich's a huge factor here tonight. He's got to be on the floor.
When we talked to Scott Skiles earlier, he mentioned that the bigs of Washington were really plugging in the middle and preventing them from getting to the basket. They were having to rely a lot on outside jump shots, and that's what's happened a lot tonight. They haven't gotten a lot of easy buckets, guard penetration.
And Larry Hughes able to drill it to give the Wizards their biggest lead of the game. They're up by 14.
Well, look at this lineup Chicago has on the floor. I mean, it's amazing that this is a playoff team with these guys that are out here, all role players. Chandler gets the little jump hook to go, but take a look. Piatkowski and Pargo, Nocioni, Funderburg. Funderburg wasn't even on the roster, but this is a club that's been hammered by injuries, and they're stringing it together.
Here is Arenas on a catch and shoot. Jeffries, and Gilbert Arenas says, give me another assist.
I don't think he'll get that one.
Now that shot went off the mark and was handled by Jeffries. 62-48 Washington. And a foul is called. Arenas thought it was going the other way, but it's on him. That's his first.
Well, that's a tough foul to go out. You're on a run a little bit. The other, Chicago's in the bonus. You're trying to be aggressive. But I always say it's important, Steve, to finish quarters. If you finish quarters strong and make them make shots, don't put them at the free throw line, make them make plays, you can go into halftime with a lot of momentum.
All right, here's the 6'1" Gennaro Pargo in his second year with the Bulls. Last season, spent time with the Lakers, the Raptors, the Bulls. He's with his hometown team. He grew up here in Chicago.
Had that terrific stretch in game 2 where he really led that Bulls reserve unit and helped them get back into this game.
4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock as the first half winds down. Hughes using the pick, and here is Hughes. Pargo couldn't hold on. A foul called on Chandler. That would have counted, but Haywood will go to the line.
They're doing a great job right now, not only running their offense, but they're doing a great job on the offensive boards. And a lot of that is because of ball movement, player movement, and the guards are being aggressive. They're drawing coverage off pick and roll situations, making people come to guard them, and it's opening up the basket.
Well, and they have the advantage physically. They're a quicker, bigger team than Chicago. 23-16 advantage right now on the boards for Washington. And you said it, Flip, when you move the ball, everything opens up and your athleticism can take over.
Foul on Chandler, his third. He will sit down. Ben Gordon comes back for a last-second shot with 11 seconds to play in this first half. High point men, Larry Hughes with 18. Brendan Haywood has 10, 12 apiece for Ben Gordon and Athella Harrington. Final seconds, first half, 14-point Washington lead. Down to 3, down to 2, 1, Pargo. Another outstanding opening half for the Wizards. They lead the Bulls 63-49. Seeking to take a 3-2 lead in this best-of-7. Game 6 will be back at the MCI Center in Washington on Friday, where the Wizards have beaten the Bulls 10 straight times. Let's go to Craig and Brendan Haywood.
Well, Brendan, 11 points, but 4 rebounds and 3 blocks. How are you trying to change things defensively?
Defensively, we just want to be tough inside, stick to our principles. I know if I'm aggressive going for block shots, my teammates have my back.
What about this new unselfish offense we've seen in 3 straight games? How does that change your role? And as a big man down low, how do you benefit from it?
As a big man down low, when the guards are being unselfish, it seems like everybody's getting on the offense, and it kind of makes your defense better, too, when we're feeding off that energy.
Right now, 63-49. The Wizards with a 14-point lead. When they have 60 or more points at the half, they are 7-0 on the season. They have 63. Let's go to EJ in Atlanta.
All right, thank you very much, Segs. The high for this series at the half for Washington, 63-49 the lead at Chicago, and these are it's getting to be desperate times. As Marv pointed out, Bulls have lost 10 straight at the MCI Center, and they trail big here tonight by 14 at the break. Verizon Wireless halftime report, Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. Steve Kerr giving you some credit for the Washington resurgence. Did you hear him?
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, you know, his comments maybe have sparked something in these guys at the
I think, you know, me and Kenny were talking about in the back, when you're unselfish with the basketball, what that does is it gets more guys involved, and you will get more shots because they will pass the ball back to you. If you play with guys who are selfish, when they get the ball, they're like, I'm not going to get it again. I better get it up. So what happens is you end up taking more bad shots. And what I said was, you guys have to get confidence. Hey, if you become a team that's really unselfish and y'all pass the ball to each other, the open man, you will get more shots instead of being selfish.
The Wizards shot 74% in the first quarter, 64% in the first half for their 63 points. And you talk about the big three of Arenas, Hughes, and Antawn Jamison. Hughes has 18 points, but it's somebody outside that big three who's having a nice first half.
And that's Brendan Haywood. And this is where Chicago misses Eddie Curry. Because Eddie Curry, Brendan Haywood, they're organic, natural big men. These guys are real big guys. They're not these self-made big guys. So now that there is not one on the other end, a big man can be a big man. He's blocking shots, he's contesting shots. He comes in, there's no one, look, no one even attempts to go shot block this. He comes back in, a low post move. All you can do is have your hands up, Tyson Chandler. You're not tall enough and big enough to guard me. That's the difference in the missing of Eddie Curry in this series right now.
11 points, 4 rebounds for Brendan Haywood.
And I was going to say this last night, but it never came up. Kwame Brown should have went to college. Steve Kerr touched on it at halftime. He's a kid who wasn't ready to go to the NBA. It takes more than talent. That's why I hope they get an age limit. Now, people always look at Kobe, Kevin Garnett, LeBron. Those guys are prodigies. But Kwame Brown needed to go to college. He needed to mature because the NBA is not a place for fragile people. And it ain't just about the money. Yeah, you do make money, but he's in a no-win situation right now, and I just hope he gets his life together.
#1 pick of 2001, if you have not heard, and has really basically been told your playoff run is done by the Washington Wizards after an alleged stomach virus kept him out of practice on Saturday, and then he didn't go to the game on Sunday. Still to come tonight, game 2 of our doubleheader takes us into the West, and there's George Karl of the Denver Nuggets preparing his troops for Game 5 tonight.
He's on the Slim Slow diet.
The Halftime Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
When it comes to food, you need a light beer that measures up. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Taste for yourself. Miller. Good call.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, honey. It's a camera phone. It's 2 camera phones.
Oh, it's a Mother's Day miracle. Oh, hey, I'll take this one.
This year, Mother's Day isn't just for moms. Get Mom an LG VX 6100 camera phone from Verizon Wireless for $49.99 and pick up one for yourself free. Plus, you can add unlimited text and picture messaging to your in-calling for just $5 a month from our enhanced service area. But hurry, this deal ends May 8th.
I sent you a picture of the syrup.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Last year, over 1 million drivers switched their car insurance to Allstate. To help us find out why, let's ask all-time Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings. Ken, would 1 million people switch to Allstate if it was more expensive?
What is no way?
Correct. Out to save America some money. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
Well, I had a dream
stood beneath an orange sky.
The multifunctional Element.
Yes, I had a dream. I
from Honda.
Stood beneath an orange sky.
Where will it take you?
Want to beat athlete's foot? Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
So, we're gonna open the whole thing up, move the lips out to about here. That should get you at least an inch. Trust me, this is going to make you a lot happier.
Double meat, cheese, bacon. The new Ultimate Double Whopper.
Parts, give me more parts. At AutoZone, I can find the right part. Parts. Give me tailgate, engine, piston, bumper. At AutoZone, gonna get the right part.
Now AutoZone has over 750,000 parts. New and performance parts, collision parts, and now salvage parts. So you don't need to call your car dealer, search through special order catalogs, or go to salvage yards. AutoZone, the only stop you need for the quality parts you're looking for.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Win or go fishing. And I don't fish. So I need to win. You know what I'm saying? So we have to come out and play, man. We got to make our backs against the wall. We got to come out tip swinging. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no waiting to see how the game go play out. We got to dictate the way the game is going to go.
Boy, don't open your mouth talking about you don't go fishing. You know who gets into the pictures after that.
It's game 5 tonight with the Spurs leading 3-1, and the points per game under George Karl, 104 and change, and San Antonio asserting its dominance on the defensive end, holding them to 90.5.
Shut them down.
Nuggets have not won a playoff series since 1994. That's game 2 of our doubleheader.
I have not wavered. I picked the Spurs in November. And I like him even more now. I think, number one, it was a great trade. Number one, I got to give RC or JC?
Slocum, yeah.
Slocum? Mm-hmm. That's the coach at Texas A&M.
RC Buford.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
RC Buford.
Yeah. Okay, I got to give that guy credit. He might be the best GM in the league other than Jerry West. Because, number one, great pickup, Nazir Muhammad. But, man, he has resurrected Big Dog. And those are 2 great pickups, and they're going to be huge the further the Spurs go into playoffs. You just got to take your hat off to him.
Well, the Spurs are just on a mission in terms of defensively and offensively at a level that people just can't consistently play at. You might can get there on Wednesday, but on Thursday, you can't come back and play at that level. They play at a level that is so consistent, and it puts so much pressure on you on both ends of the court to value the basketball and value each possession on both ends that most teams, especially I think the Nuggets, can deal with.
But I think if you just look at basketball in general, the 2 best teams, San Antonio and Detroit, they're the best 2 defensive teams. And it just goes to show you.
What about Miami?
Miami's not as good defensively as Detroit. Okay. I think they can be. That's going to be a monster series. I can't wait to see it. But night in, night out, the best 2 defensive teams are San Antonio and Detroit. And no matter how many shots they make, and that's the thing, even when they went like 0 for ever in the first game, it was still a 2-point game with a minute to go.
10 minutes in the fourth quarter without scoring, and they still were right there.
So defense is the one constant of all good teams.
Game 5 coming your way later tonight right here on TNT as the San Antonio Spurs try to close out the game Denver Nuggets. Here in game 1 of our doubleheader, Larry Hughes leads everybody with 18. The Wiz shooting 64% in that first half.
TNT, the exclusive home of the Eastern Conference Finals.
With faster acceleration than a BMW 325xi and an Audi TT, the all-new Hemi-powered Jeep Grand Cherokee conquers the road like a sports car. And with our exclusive Quadra-Drive 2 4-wheel drive system, it conquers everything else like a trail-rated Jeep 4x4. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, 2005 4x4 of the year.
I'll tell you this much. I like coming to Sonic, and I really like the Powerade slush, but I get about halfway through it, and I just get this body chill from it.
Totally. Grab my shawl.
Your what?
I got a shawl back there, dude. Throw a little shawl on. It's a shawl. You
have a shawl.
Powerade Slush. Sonic's got it, others don't. Cool down with the intense flavor of Sonic's Powerade Slush. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
We've given it the longest wheelbase in its class, unsurpassed rear headroom, and a multimedia entertainment system, all of which begs the question, can you resist? Introducing the all-new long wheelbase Jaguar XJ. Visit your local Jaguar retailer today.
Later this year, we're launching the first of several new satellites that together will deliver over 1,500 high-definition channels across the country. It's part of DirecTV's commitment to the best TV experience. Your TV's ready. Are you?
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use or dissemination of this telecast or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
The Halftime Report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, honey, it's a camera phone. It's 2 camera phones.
Oh, it's a Mother's Day miracle. Oh, hey, I'll take this one.
This year, Mother's Day isn't just for moms. Get Mom an LG VX6100 camera phone from Verizon Wireless for $49.99 and pick up one for yourself free. Plus, you can add unlimited text and picture messaging to your in-calling for just $5 a month from our enhanced service area. But hurry, this deal ends May 8th.
I sent you a picture of the syrup.
Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Remember how great the last day of school was? That's what getting away on a Southwest Airlines Fun Fair feels like. These low fares to your favorite vacation spots are available any day of the week and start at just $49. Book yours at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
We're in the second period of extra time. It's been a grueling match for both teams. Chad chases the ball. Ramos takes control. Oh, man!
The longer and harder you exercise, the more severe your hydration needs become, and that can cause you to fall apart.
Again.
That's why there's new Gatorade Endurance Formula. This unique 5-electrolyte formula puts back more of what your body loses during your most punishing activities. New Gatorade Endurance Formula.
Ben Gordon, the 6th man of the year, has 12 points in the first half, but the Chicago Bulls are down by 2 touchdowns heading to the 3rd quarter in Chicago.
That you'll take the voice of this lovely woman.
This is Trump?
And put it into this damn.
Why?
To tell the world the benefits of Affleck with sex appeal.
Brilliant, sir.
I know. Now throw the switch.
If you're hurt and can't work, Affleck can help pay your bills with cash.
Genius! And her?
Affleck!
What can a hungry monster teach us about where you work?
One hungry monster underneath my bed.
Moaning.
And groaning and begging to be fed.
2 hungry monsters.
At my closet door.
Chewing up my sneakers.
Asking me for more.
Every year, Wachovia employees like these spend over 600,000 hours volunteering in their communities. Wachovia. Watch for the Wachovia Championship, an official PGA Tour event.
I thought you were getting hors d'oeuvres.
It's game time, baby.
That's a double quarter pounder.
With cheese.
Samantha wanted hors d'oeuvres.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pound one.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. Got a taste for hoops? Then grab a QPC or double QPC for your shot to go to next month's NBA Finals and get your game on.
I'm loving it.
Veranda is a revolutionary material for decks and fences that resists warping, splintering, and rotting. It stands up to some of the most extreme conditions on Earth. Chances are, it can handle your backyard. And Veranda never needs sealing, staining, or painting, so you spend time enjoying your deck instead of working on it. Veranda, exclusively at the Home Depot. Right now, get a free $50 gift card for every $500 Veranda decking purchase.
A 210 horsepower PowerTech V6, 2 available four-wheel drive systems, 5,000-pound towing capacity, and one feature that really attracts attention. The new 2005 Jeep Liberty.
NBA TV is all games, all James, all Jamison, all muscle, all hustle.
NBA TV is all ball, all tall, all small, all hall.
NBA TV is all day,
All night, all games, all highlights.
NBA TV is your all-access channel for everything basketball.
Tune in to the NBA TV free preview, April 23rd through May 6th.
TNT,
The exclusive home of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Should I try to do some more? 25 or 6 to 4.
We are back at the United Center in Chicago. Wizards with a 63-49 lead as we head to the second half. The Bulls are down by 14 points. Marv Albert, Flip Saunders, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager, and Steve, another strong first half for the Wizards, who did it the other night in Washington. And we're looking at 64% from the field in the first half here tonight.
I think one of the things that happens in a playoff series is you start to build confidence when you see what's successful. And if you look at Washington, every game their field goal percentage has increased because of that improved ball movement. You look at that tonight, outstanding, 64%. They're big people, 14 for 18 combined, so they're getting whatever they want inside.
And Flip, a very tough situation for the Bulls. Scott Skiles working with a battered team. He has Chris Duhon, a question mark, back spasms. Ben Gordon, not 100%. What do you see here at the start of the third quarter?
Sometimes, Marv, when you don't have continuity, what happens is you start turning the ball over, which happened early, leading Washington to 13 fast break points. What happens is their shooting percentage goes down a little bit. What they need to know that these 5 minutes to start this half is extremely important. They've got to reestablish how they're going to play. They got to reestablish their aggressiveness to get themselves back into the game and try to take control of the series.
All right, let's check in with Craig.
Well, Scott Skiles challenged his team at the half. He said, listen, we have not taken their effort. We have not shown up in this game. He said they are dictating everything they want to do. We are not even coming up. We are off the map. He said, listen, if we don't make an effort right here in this half, in the second half, it's going to be over. He was very upset with the effort defensively. He said offensively, they scored enough, but defensively, off the map.
All right, thanks, Craig. Scott telling us earlier he felt his team was shell-shocked right from the opening tip in Game 4 in Washington the other night. So, Flip, as you mentioned, these opening minutes vital for Chicago with game number 6 back in Washington on Friday night. Nocioni has not been able to find the range. Antonio Davis with the rebound. Haywood able to get to it.
Well, not only were the Bulls shell-shocked the other night, I think this crowd tonight is stunned, and it just doesn't have the same zeal that it did in game one when there was that tremendous atmosphere, and very quiet here tonight. They're scared.
All right, here's Jeffries. Nice move by Jeffries. So the Wizards now lead 65-49.
Well, one thing that might have to happen, their forwards right now, Nocioni and Davis, have scored 2 points between them, and I think they need to get more aggressive because they're the two most aggressive upfront players that they have, and so they got to give them something offensively.
Davis, Nocioni, and Harrington up front. Heinrich and Duhan on the backcourt, so Heinrich checked the 24-second clock, but Haywood blocked it. That's his 4th rejection, and here's Hughes on a breakaway. So it gets worse and worse for the Bulls, who are hearing some boos from this crowd.
Which is pretty amazing given that this team has overachieved all year and they're playing shorthanded here tonight, but the crowd's very restless. Bulls getting nothing inside.
And that's an offensive foul, the charge on Harrington.
It's so hard to play when everything is out by the three-point line. Your whole offense is screen and roll. You keep dribbling. Finally, the Bulls are going to get the ball inside here to Harrington, but Haywood, another terrific play, sliding his feet. And Kenny Smith and Charles talked about it at halftime. This club desperately misses Eddie Curry. They just cannot get the ball inside and force Washington's defense to react.
And Washington with a 69-49 lead. Ben Gordon will check in a moment. Here's Nocioni. Davis with the rebound. Heinrich. Nocioni. Back to Davis. You see Nocioni reluctant to shoot. And the Bulls maintain possession.
Well, Washington has not only picked it up at the defensive end of the floor, Marv, but they are really running their offense beautifully. There's the backdoor play, and Arenas with the finish. And it's like the Wizards have just sucked the life right out of this building and out of this Bulls team. They are executing at both ends.
It's a 15-3 run for the Wizards going back to the second quarter. That's a kickball, leg block. So the clock reset, 14 on the 24.
Yeah, many times in this situation, what happens, a young team, every possession is almost seems like it's do or die, and you put more pressure on yourself. They need to relax, get a couple easy buckets, get to the free throw line, and let the game come to them, and almost not try so hard.
Here's Duhan. That's a 3 for Chris Duhan.
And you see both Bulls guards up, trying to pressure the ball, but unfortunately for Chicago, a third man brings it up, and they get a wide open look.
That was a rush shot by Hughes, perhaps the first time that can be pointed out here tonight. Duhan for 3. So consecutive three-pointers for Duhan, leading to an Eddie Jordan timeout with 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Wizards now lead at 69-55.
Chris Duhan trying to get this crowd back in it. He figures we might as well just start firing and knock down some threes, try to do anything to get some energy.
These low fares to your favorite vacation destination start at just $49. Book yours at southwest.com.
Listen up, Sprite Remix. Refresh, rethink, remix. It's all about the new Sprite Remix. Aruba Job.
Don't worry, we'll get through, huh?
See the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited in Sahara, now playing.
Where are we going? Heck if I know, but we're making great time!
Want to beat athlete's foot? Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
Nice. Very nice. Do you think they're...
Oh yeah, they're plastic. And they're spectacular.
Just in time for summer, it's the Coors Light Cooler Box. 18 16-ounce plastic bottles that stay colder longer. Just ice it up, take it out, and enjoy. The Coors Light Cooler Box.
Wow. Close up, they look even bigger.
The 2005 NBA Playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. And by Jeep Trail-rated capability. Only in a Jeep 4x4. Coming up next, we go into the West. After a heartbreaking overtime loss in Game 4 to the Spurs, it's now win or go home for Denver. And beginning June 10th, a 6-week television event, Into the West, only on TNT.
It's the Nuggets and the Spurs from San Antonio. Game 5. Kevin Harlan, Doug Collins will have it for you. Spurs looking to close it out, coming off that overtime victory this past Monday night. And the ball back to Chicago. The Bulls with 6 points in 20 seconds on the 2 threes by Chris Duhon. Wizards have led by as many as 20. Bulls have a 3-guard set going small here. The 2 big men are Harrington and Davis with Duhon, Gordon, and Heinrich. And a foul against Washington.
They're starting to pick up a little momentum. You can sense the crowd is feeling it. Duhon knocks down the 3. Chicago goes full court, man-to-man pressure, forces a turnover at the other end, and now Gordon's in there. You know Chicago's going to try to get him the ball, get him going here.
Foul on Haywood, that's his 3rd. Foul on Arenas. Non-shooting foul, that's 2 on Arenas.
What you said, Steve, is right. And what you also like to see right now is they're being aggressive. They're getting the ball in situations. They're almost putting their heads down. They're trying to force the action, almost force the referees to make a call for them going to the basket. As Marv just mentioned, them going small, Jeffries now has to go out and guard a guard, and that's what caused them to get 2 3-point shots from Duhon. So when you go small, it creates more energy and more quickness for you because it forces a lot of switches.
Here's Duhon rejected by Haywood. That's the 5th block shot for Brendan Haywood. Arenas on a catch and shoot. And again, a quick shot by Arenas. I should say, when I say again, I mean the Wizards. That's his first quick shot, because I know Gilbert will be checking the tape.
That's right. But you're right, Barb. This is the time when Washington has to get ball movement. It's especially important when the other team is on a little bit of run. That's how you stop them.
Harrington not able to hit.
So many times in these situations, you think you need a quick shot. You want to hit the knockout right away. And what you need to do is you got to lead up to 20 by running your offense, turning the ball over, run the same offense, run the same thing. Don't try to reinvent something.
Here's Jamison. Oh, a very difficult angle shot off glass by Antawn Jamison.
We talked about it last week. That Bernard King-like floater on the run. Such a difficult shot for anybody to make, much less a 6'9" forward.
And he's one of the best bad shot takers in the game.
Ben Gordon, that's a 2. He had a foot on the line, so Gordon has bounced back from the 1 of 13 the other night. He now has 14 points.
Did you hear that? One of the best bad shot takers. Did you like having bad shot takers on your team?
No, but I had a few.
Haywood spinning his way on Harrington. And the ball deflected out. Last touch by the Wizard. The Bulls showing some signs here. They're down by 14. They were down by 20 a moment ago. Staying with this 3-guard alignment. Duhon around Jeffries. Chandler pops it out. Here's Heinrich. Heinrich nowhere to go. Spins his way and scores. Kirk Howard. Wizards 71, the Bulls 59.
And again, the full court defense here, just trying to put some pressure on Washington. And as you said, Flip, create some kind of energy.
A 10-2 run by the Wizards. Hughes. And that's a bad shot, but a foul is called.
Well, this is what we talked about early in the game, guys. This is a very young Washington team. They haven't been in this situation before, so we have to keep an eye on them right now. The first sign of adversity for this club, really, all evening. They've taken 2 quick shots here in the last couple of possessions.
One of the toughest situations a young team has on the road in the playoffs is how to put a team away in the second half. And it's important. You put a team away by executing offensively, by keeping aggressive defensively, and by making easy plays.
4th foul on Tyson Chandler. Here is Arenas for 3. And suddenly the Wizards just firing away. Now Hughes. And he's able to knock it down.
That's a killer right there. If you're Chicago, you've got everything going for you. But once again, the offensive rebound. Remember, the Wizards were #1 in the NBA on the offensive glass. And that's going to be a key here for the Bulls as they try to come back.
Again, Washington going to the zone to try to prevent pick-and-roll penetration.
Tough rebound by Jamison. Now Jeffries. And by Heinrich. Just under 6 minutes to play. And the third is Haywood. Nice move. Brendan Haywood has been outstanding. 6 of 8 from the field, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 block shots.
Playing more like Spencer Haywood here tonight. Incredible offensive show by a guy who's not normally an offensive player.
Heinrich not able to hit that driving hook, and a foul is called. It's on Davis.
What you like in the situation, Haywood gets the ball, and he's very patient with the ball. Goes up with a nice jump hook, and he's way over. Antonio Davis really didn't jump much, a contested shot. He gets a clean look at the basket, and Haywood knocks it down. And he's made about 4 of those hooks. He's been living off his left shoulder, right-hand jump hook.
And so much of what we talked about is ball movement since Game 3. It's also been the dominance of the Washington big people.
Nice pass, and Haywood scores again. So the Wizards able to settle down, and it leads to a Chicago timeout. Washington back up by 18, 6 unanswered points for the 18-point advantage.
Well, this Wizards team has been manhandling the Bulls inside. Again, the penetration, the feed, and the slam from Haywood.
And that says a lot. Here comes McCready. What a play by T-Mac.
My Grand Cherokee's 4x4 of the year, and I got 0% financing.
Because it has amazing 4-wheel drive capability and is trail rated.
Plenty of cargo room.
5-star crash test rating.
And a great lease.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Jeep Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Now, qualified lessees can lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo for $289 a month for 39 months with $19.99 due at signing.
We got the Laredo we wanted.
Life is good.
Hey, watch this.
You want some of this? You like bananas? Oh, yeah.
Here, take it seriously. Go. Give me that.
Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real.
Give me that. Come on, give me that.
It's all here.
I got 5 stops to make.
Oh, no!
I can't drive you around while you go around killing people.
What are you gonna do about it?
From director Michael Mann.
He's coming to kill you.
Tom Cruise.
What's flowing? What's my work?
Jamie Foxx.
I'm not up for this. Slow down. Shoot me.
Collateral.
I heard DirecTV has this thing called the DirecTV Movers Connection. They move and install your DirecTV service in your new home when you move. And it's free.
Free. Let's move then.
I'm glad we did this.
Movers Connection, only from DirecTV. Another example of how DirecTV is rethinking the way television should be.
Back in Chicago, and tonight's Steve Wonders. Brought to you by Bud Light Flip. Quite a night for Steve Kerr. The raucous reception from this crowd for the ceremonial toss prior to the game.
Although I didn't toss it, I just stood there looking like a fool. But
I'm ready for the camera tonight to take pictures of you and whoever.
What were you doing there?
I don't really know. I'm not sure. But I am wondering something right now. And that is, Bulls are on the ropes here. And obviously, if Washington wins this game, it's going to be awfully tough for Chicago to come back and win this first-round series. So what I was wondering, Marv, when was the last time the Bulls actually lost a first-round series? And it was 1987. Larry Bird-led Celtics 3-0.
Off the steal, here is Hughes putting it down.
That was the series where Michael had, was it 63?
I think that might have been the year before, 86, when he had 63. Probably had 62 the next year.
Nevertheless, a solid Steve Wonders segment.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, here's Duhan for three. You can see Eddie Jordan shaking his head. Not happy that Duhan was open again. He hit the two from downtown earlier this third quarter. 79-59. Washington with the big lead. 4.5 remaining in the third quarter. Jamison way off. Back comes Duhan. Bulls stay with the three-guard set. Antonio Davis, you see Brendan Haywood trying to cheat, looking for the steal, and it backfired.
When was the last time we saw a Bulls basket in the paint? I mean, everything has been on the perimeter. It's the first time they've really gotten good position down on the block and made a nice post feed.
I'm sure Scott Skiles has challenged their bigs to be more aggressive offensively and also defensively.
And once again, the Chicago front line has been manhandled by the Wizards. Nocioni has not been the same since game one. Here's Chandler, fouled, hit on a reach-in by Haywood. Andres Nocioni, the rookie from Argentina, who Scott Skiles was telling us earlier, he's been down, very critical of himself. Skiles saying that he had to tell him to get out of the gym. He's been working, actually putting in too much time.
Well, he's wired very similarly to Scott Skiles. I mean, this guy is wound up tight. He's such a competitor. Of course, he's just a rookie. A lot of people say, well, he's been playing for about 8 or 9 years professionally over in Europe, but he's a guy who's playing in the first time in the NBA playoffs, and he wants desperately to succeed.
Yes, he said this is the most he's ever played in terms of number of games in a season, but the matchup has been all Washington up front. Nocioni, Davis, and Harrington against Jamison, Haywood, Etan Thomas, Jeffries. Well, for highlights, news conferences, and behind-the-scenes action during this entire postseason, check out NBA TV. NBA TV, your home for complete playoff coverage.
Well, one of the reasons this is going to be so difficult for Chicago to come back is the fact that they're getting nothing inside. 46 to 26 points in the paint right now for Washington. They established their big people early. And for Chicago, a lot of screen and roll, a lot of perimeter jump shots.
And Chicago's big people are shooting 19 for 26 from the field, which is really amazing.
Washington's
Washington,
big people, yeah.
Washington.
Oh, Jamison from downtown. Antawn Jamison hits the three. Here's Heinrich. Oh, Heinrich from beyond that three-point line. Wizards 84, Bulls 65. Light pressure being shown by Chicago. Wizards have no problem. Here's Jamison. Offensive foul as Antonio Davis took the hit.
Marv, you know, I've said this several times this year. I'd love to see the league get rid of that little semicircle. It seems to me so often the officials are forced to have to look at where their feet are. You see where the circle is, but you'll see Antonio Davis will slide over and does he get there? I guess so, maybe, but so many of these calls are made because the officials have to look at where their feet are, and instead of watching whether the guy actually has position. I think a lot of times guys are sliding their feet underneath the offensive player, but I think he might have gotten the call right there.
As we've always talked, we had our coaches meetings with the referees, is that as you come up as a player, you're never in a situation where they teach you to watch a line when you're playing basketball. And this is a situation defensively where you're coming out and you're watching your line, whether your feet are outside that semicircle or not, and it takes away from you being able to be effective.
Foul on Juan Dixon, who just came on. Non-shooting foul. Wizards with their 4th team foul. Bulls have 2. Just under 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Heinrich kicks it out. There is Duhan with a teardrop. Air ball. Save made by Arenas. Taken away by Duhan. Heinrich for 3. Tough angle, and he hits.
Steve, as a coach, you hate when your players save the ball underneath and don't have a clear path to somebody, because it almost always leads to a bucket. And that time, Arenas tried to save it, got to Duhan. Duhan kicks it out, and it ends up getting a 3-point shot.
Foul on Duhan. Heinrich now has 18 points. It's a 16-point Wizard lead.
No, here's the one you're talking about, Flip. Arenas with the save. He throws it back. Duhan, terrific play, and now the defense is scrambling, and as you said, wide open 3.
We've been talking about the effectiveness of that Washington front line, and for those who may have tuned in late, discussed earlier, Dixon is not able to hit. Kwame Brown not with the team after playing only 4 minutes in Game 3, called in sick for Game 4. Yesterday, the Wizards said stay home, and now they have suspended him for the rest of the playoffs. Heinrich able to scramble forward. Here's Heinrich putting the move on Ruffin. Ruffin with the blocked shot, and a foul on Heinrich. That's number 4. All right, for more on Kwame Brown, let's check in with Craig.
Well, I talked to Eddie Jordan. He said he's tired of hearing how talented Kwame Brown is. He says that Brown has skills, but he says that's different from talent. Talent is defined as one's unique ability for use and development, and Kwame has yet to mold those skills into talent. He sought advice from everybody, even calling Bill Parcells, the Dallas Cowboys coach. Parcells defines players like Kwame as lures. He says he will keep you on the hook, but never produce. Parcells says with players like that, cut the line.
All right, thanks, Craig. And as we mentioned earlier, Kwame had several similar incidents with the previous head coach, Doug Collins. It'll be Washington ball. That last foul was changed. It was not called on Heinrich. Antonio Davis picked it up. Davis has 4.
Bulls crowd really appreciative of the effort of Chris Duhan. He's got that bad back, and it's the second time he's gone diving into the stands for a loose ball.
The steal by Heinrich. Dixon is back. Here's Heinrich. Oh, what a play. Dixon able to slap it away, and last touch by Heinrich.
Boy, this crowd is so furious about this call, because this is the kind of play the Bulls have to get into this game. The steal by Heinrich, and then excellent play by Duhan. That's not a foul. He got all ball.
Yeah, it looked like it went off Dixon, actually. He hit it with his hip at the end, or even maybe with his hand, but the call went the other way.
Antawn Thomas back on the floor. Dixon for Ruffin. Ruffin with the stuff. Michael Ruffin, one-time member of the Chicago Bulls, who had a solid game in Game 4, 20 minutes, 6 rebounds, blocked shot, 3 assists. Foul on Dixon.
My goodness, did you guys see this? Here's the extra pass we talked about. One pass to Dixon, the extra one. Look at this. Up and over. Antonio Davis, look from the baseline. Whew.
So the Wizards over the foul limit. Heinrich at the line. Michael Ruffin side is a free agent following 2 years with the Bulls, a year with Philadelphia, a year with Utah. Started with the Jazz 23 times last season. He's played for 4 teams in 5 NBA seasons. An academic All-American at Tulsa, majoring in engineering.
What Eddie Jordan really likes about Ruffin is that he's a very intelligent player. He knows how to play angles defensively, offensively. He sets great screens. He plays off people, as we saw in that last play.
Ruffin able to recover. Ruffin on the back tap, try to get it to Hughes. Heinrich is on it, protecting the dribble. And the call away from the ball as Thomas and Chandler got involved. The foul is called on Antawn Thomas.
Yeah, Chandler's going to go to the line here to shoot a pair with the Wizards in the penalty. You know, talking about Ruffin, I mean, you think about what he's been through in his life, the education he received at Tulsa, the 4 years of basketball. He's bounced around a little bit, played overseas, played for the Bulls. Think of the life experience he's had compared to Kwame Brown, who came straight into the NBA out of high school. It's no wonder Ruffin's going to be more successful in these situations than Kwame Brown. And again, we talked about it a little in the first half. Age limit, I think it would really benefit not only the NBA, but a lot of these young players.
A lot of these young players coming out of high school, they look and they see the Kevin Garnett, the Kobe Bryant, the Tracy McGrady. They don't realize, you know, the process that they went through, even as rookies. You know, Kevin Garnett did not start until the 21st game as far as in his rookie season. Tracy McGrady, he's really struggled a lot his first year. Kobe Bryant went through a transition period under Del Harrison, so it took those guys time. And I've always said it's better for players to stay in school, to get mentally ready to make the adjustments to the NBA. That's more important than physically.
But what you guys say also has to do with the individual personality. When you talk about the maturity, say, of LeBron James, plus the guys that you've mentioned.
Yeah, but the vast majority of them are not ready. I think those other guys are the exception.
Nocioni on the rebound. Here comes Gordon. Final seconds. Gordon with the runner. It will count. Ben Gordon hitting at the buzzer. They'll review it. But I don't think there's any question that he got it off in time. Yes, he did. So the Wizards with an 86-73 lead after 3. And for tonight's In the City, presented by Dodge, our Hemi-powered Charger with 5-speed auto stick. The final destination right here at the United Center in Chicago.
When you think it's over, remember this. It hasn't even begun.
Don't worry. We'll get through, huh?
Come see the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited in Sahara, now playing.
Where are we going? Take it by now, but we're making great time!
Nokia 9300. Starting this summer, pack everything, but still travel light.
Within the second period of extra time, it's been a grueling match for both teams. Chad chases the ball. Ramos takes the throw. Oh, man!
The longer and harder you exercise, the more severe your hydration needs become, and that can cause you to fall apart. That's why there's new Gatorade Endurance Formula. This unique 5-electrolyte formula puts back more of what your body loses during your most punishing activities. New Gatorade Endurance Formula.
White, beige, or taupe? No thanks. If I'm gonna paint, you're gonna notice it.
You can at the Home Depot. Discover the largest paint color palette in America. The greatest brands in paint are here at guaranteed low prices. And try our Color Smart system, where you can preview, match, and coordinate colors with confidence. Organize paint chips, swatches, and more with a Color Solutions Journal. Get one free when you buy $60 or more of Behr paint.
At the Home Depot, you can do it, we can help.
With spicy food, you need a light beer that can hold its own. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Taste for yourself. Miller. Good call.
Look at that little fella. He's got enough poison in him to kill an elephant.
Welcome back to the United Center, Chicago, Illinois. Look at the Michigan Avenue Bridge. Marv Albert, Flip Saunders, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager. On to the fourth quarter, and this season may very well be on the line for the Bulls. There's the chairman of the Wizards, Abe Pollin. It was back in 1963. Abe Pollin and his partner Earl Foreman bought the old Chicago franchise, the Chicago Zephyrs, and moved them to Baltimore. They were then the Baltimore Bullets. Originally was the Chicago Packers and then the Chicago Zephyrs. And then the Bulls came in as an expansion franchise. Gordon opens up this fourth quarter. So the Wizards now lead by 11. They've led by as many as 22.
Flip, you talked about the importance of closing quarters. Bulls went on an 11-2 run to end the third. Now a quick bucket here. This crowd's back in it.
And as we said, one play can change the game. You look at the end of the quarter. Nice give and go off that. Hayward coming straight down the middle. And again, the big guys getting to seams. The forwards or guards finding them on an easy pass.
So the Wizards now lead 88-75. Gordon with Duhon and Heinrich. Scott Skiles staying with the three guards, the big men, Antawn and Chandler. And Duhon lost it. It's a 3-on-2. Nice pass from Arenas. Hughes was fouled. He will go to the line.
I remember my old coach Tex Winter here in Chicago. He had a saying. It was one bad pass begets another. And what I took that to mean was if you get one bad pass, you'd probably be getting another. and he's right. You see the feed there from Gordon on the penetration. He kind of flings it into the corner. Bad pass leads to the Duhon bad pass, and then a fast break at the other end.
And what we talked about earlier is easy plays. There's an easy play by Arenas making an easy pass to Hughes, who goes in and gets fouled and gets 2 free throws.
It's a simple game, and passing, as Pete Carrill said, takes the tension out of it.
You love that, don't you?
Love it. Love it. My favorite basketball quote.
Can't say it enough.
I just wish we could have some passing here to take the tension away from the booth.
I feel it. I feel it more in Chicago with you.
Do you? I feel it everywhere with you.
90-75 Wizards. Tyson Chandler. The Chandler now has 12. To show you the domination of Washington, our statistician Chuck Gardner on the turnover, the ball back to Chicago. Passed on a note that in the last 9 quarters, the Bulls have led for a total of only a minute 2. The last 9 quarters between these two teams.
Does that not sound like a lot to you? Guess it's not that much, is it?
Steve, I think you should take a little rest. Here's Nocioni. He is rejected. And it's handled by Jeffries.
I think I'm lightheaded from all the travel. We've been on the road too long.
Wizards by 13, 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Quick shot by Arenas. Heinrich looking to go all the way. And the crowd wanted a goaltend. Jeffries kicks it back out. Hughes off the fake. Passed on the 3, hit the 2.
Tell you what, it's like watching a clinic when Larry Hughes makes a pump fake. He shows that ball as well as anybody I've seen. Lets it go nice and high, and everybody's going for it.
Very deliberate. It looks like he's actually shooting it. That's the key of having a ball fake like that.
A beautiful stroke. Ben Gordon knocks down a 3. Bulls hanging around, down by 12. They've trailed by as many as 22. Lots of time remaining. 9:15 to go in this fourth quarter.
This is a dangerous time of the game. Either way, 2 possessions, one way or the other, could make it a game for Chicago or make it where Washington's going to stay in control of the game. So these next 2 or 3 minutes are going to be extremely important for both teams. You see here, Jamison coming out, setting the screen. Ball pops out to him in a push-off. Nocioni, who might be a little bit of a flop, but the Europeans are known for playing that way, and so they get that call a lot.
I think that's what George Karl was complaining about with Manu Ginobili during the Spurs-Nuggets series. Maybe that's something they teach over there in Argentina.
They have a flop coach instead of a shooting coach.
Well, Jamison just picked up number 5. Dixon has checked back in. So Washington with a 3-guard set. Here's Gordon pulling it back. Did not have it. Oh, he got bailed out. He had nowhere to go, and Jeffries got a piece of it, a foul on Jeffries.
He sure did get bailed out. That was a clean block, and Washington did everything they could defensively to get in position. And that's a tough call, but again, Wizards are going to have to try to keep their composure here. Well, you know what? I might be wrong. Looks like he might have gotten the elbow.
We're investing over $1 billion in North America. It began with a new design and research center and test track in California, a new engineering facility in Michigan, and now a state-of-the-art assembly plant in Alabama, creating thousands of new jobs across the country. The result will be a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
I'm not a gangster. No, I'm not a thug. No, I'm not into trying to be hard. If you ask me about that on the basketball court, then I say, yeah, I'm hard, I'm tough on the basketball court. But off the court, that ain't who I want my kids to feel like their daddy is. That's just my environment. That's where I came from. I can't be somebody else. All I can be is the best Allen Iverson that I can be.
From executive producer Steven Spielberg and DreamWorks Television, a 6-week television event, Into the West, starting June 10th, only on TNT. Now you can get in great shape, build muscle, and you can do it fast. All you have to do is dial it up. Turn up the results with the Bowflex Select Tech free weight system. Now you can dial up the weight you want, anywhere from 5 to 52.5 pounds on one single dumbbell. Want 15 pounds? Just turn the dial to 15 and start lifting. Ready for 40? All it takes is the turn of a dial. Now you can get powerful biceps, a sexy core, even chiseled legs in an easy 30-minute workout. Call now to order your Bowflex Select Tech free weight system for no money down and payments of just $9 a month. Order now and we'll include this free DVD, Secrets of the 4-Step Rep, that teaches you perfect free weight techniques. It's time to turn up your results. Call and get your Bowflex Select Tech for just $9 a month.
All right, guys, one of these stirring moments in NBA history. Time for Amaral's spectacular finish.
A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win it!
'89 Eastern Conference first round, Game 5. Michael Jordan's game winner over Craig Elo to give the Bulls a 1-point victory in a 3-2 series victory. Bulls would beat the Knicks in the Eastern semis before losing to the Pistons in the conference finals.
And as if Craig Elo hasn't seen that replay enough, then we show it twice. Twice we show it again tonight. Right? Craig's somewhere in Seattle right now watching this saying, do you mind? Can you move on?
Well, what I noticed was Jack Haley running over their Jettis, like Kenny the Jet, to jump on Michael Jordan. That's what I noticed.
Oh, Flip's going to hear it from the Jet.
Flip taking a shot at the Jet. Hey, he's vindictive. He'll come right back at you.
He's vindictive.
I lost 8 times straight in the playoffs, so that's all I can say.
The Washington lead is down to 10. They've led by as many as 22 with just under 9 remaining in the fourth. Tyson Chandler now moving out on Gilbert Arenas and rejects him. Shot clock down to 2, down to 1. Here's Jamison. Oh, what a clutch shot by Antawn Jamison.
What'd you just say? One play here or there, one possession.
Here or there. But I didn't like their offense. They really stood that last time, just kind of went one-on-one.
That's what's helped the Bulls get back into this thing. A lot of quick shots. Washington has to get back to that ball movement.
Elcioni blocked by Haywood, but a foul.
No, this is what We were talking about here, Flip, on that last possession. So much dribbling leads to this. Bad shot by Arenas. Jamison picks it up. There's that floater that he's so good at. Just sucks the life out of this crowd. They were just getting to be back into this game.
That was number 5 on Brendan Haywood. So here is Nocioni, 77% free throw shooter, making his first appearance at the line. He struggled with the shot, just 1 of 8 from the field.
As you mentioned many times, Steve, Nocioni going to the free throw line, maybe if he gets 1 or 2 free throws, it's going to get his confidence going, get him back into the game a little bit. I think that's going to be important because they're going to need to get production from some up front people. They can't just count on Gordon and count on Heinrich and Duhan making plays out front the whole game.
Andres Nocioni had a career game in game 1, 25 points, 18 rebounds in his first ever NBA playoff appearance. He played all 48 minutes. He hits 1 of 2. Wizards lead by 11. The Surrey's tied at 2. They'll play game 6 back in Washington Friday night. Good ball movement. Hughes for 3. Good box out by Chandler. And here comes Chicago. Duhan looking to set it up against Jeffries. Nocioni set the pick. Here's Duhan from way downtown. Jeffries on the rebound.
That was about a 28-footer, and once again, the Bulls having to settle for that screen and roll action, everything tonight on the perimeter.
Arenas with the feed, knocked away from Thomas. Antawn Thomas coming on for Brendan Haywood. Oh, beautiful play. Ben Gordon with the speed dribble to beat the Wizards.
A little crossover that he's so good at. That's why people compare him to Andrew Toney, that package of speed and versatility.
And they're on their feet here in Chicago. Crowd very much back into it. A bad pass. Thomas able to get to it. Bulls were looking for a jump ball. And now 3-second violation is called. The ball back to Chicago.
You can see the energy coming in the arena. A lot of times when you've been trailing a game of double digits, when you get below that 10 points, it's like you're rejuvenated. And what's happened, the team is rejuvenated, the Bulls, and also the crowd is now back into the game.
6:54 to go in this 4th quarter. It's been all Wizards. At one point, they led 84-62. They had that 22-point bulge with 3.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Heinrich using the pick. Heinrich rejected. Thomas got a piece of it. And here comes Arenas. Bulls get back. Arenas lost it off his foot. Heinrich slaps it ahead. Nocioni picks it up. Nocioni lost it. So Washington takes possession.
Well, the other thing that's happening here is the Bulls have become the aggressor, so they're getting the calls. That's how it works in the NBA. Not that the officials are calling things, you know, out of the ordinary. It's just that when you get momentum and you get energy, you're going to get to the loose balls. You're going to get your share of calls.
It's not only just calls, it's how you play. The aggressor usually it has success by being aggressive because they're doing things much more aggressively.
And this has been Chicago's style all season long. Hughes with the fadeaway, and it's put home. Jeffries right there on the follow. Wizards now lead 96-85.
That's the one situation when Chicago's going small, when they have 3 guards in. One of the guards has to guard Jeffries, and he can hurt them on the offensive boards.
Jamison moves up on Gordon. Here's Gordon going glass. Ben Gordon with 27 points.
Isn't it amazing? He was 1 for 13 the other night in Washington. He's 10 for 14 here. The game can change so quickly as a player out there. That rim looks huge to him tonight.
I think he's kicked that cold.
Jamison scores, will not count. Foul on Washington. An illegal pick was set. Bob Delaney with the call before the shot. The foul charged to Hughes. Timeout taken. It will be Chicago back in possession. The Wizards 96, the Bulls 87. We'll be right back.
Sin is fun.
He kills for the fun of it. The job is simple. Get him and get him fast.
Tell him where the money
I'm
is.
the guy banging your old lady. Bob Shadows coming.
How dare you not defend your daughter?
Next loud noise you hear is me.
With more flights to more places than ever before, America is your backyard. Southwest Airlines, we're taking low fares farther.
You are now free to move about the country.
We're investing over $1 billion in North America. It began with a new design and research center and test track in California, a new engineering facility in Michigan, and now a state-of-the-art assembly plant in Alabama, creating thousands of new jobs across the country. The result will be a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
How's your salad?
You?
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 Mm-hmm.
Not.
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 Yeah? Mm-mm. So we got and you got
Try Wendy's new Mediterranean chicken salad, a bold blend of herb-seasoned chicken, crumbled feta, and grape tomatoes made fresh throughout the day. For a salad that's anything but come to Wendy's. It's better here.
Hi. Let's do this. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to be the first one to welcome you to the neighborhood.
Do you want to come in?
Yeah.
Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer.
The 2005 NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. To see the full line of Hyundai's cars and SUVs, visit HyundaiUSA.com. By Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you? And by Wendy's new Mediterranean chicken salad. Wendy's, it's better here.
I don't know who you think you are, but we were assigned this case by Captain Taylor.
There's been a change of plans. Once I get to work and they see me in action, they'll have a whole list of other reasons to hate my guts.
The Closer, Mondays at 9 starting June 13th on TNT.
Quick programming reminder, national coverage of the NBA playoffs will continue Friday night on ESPN. Game 6 of the series between the Bulls and Wizards. And if there is a game 6 between the Spurs and Nuggets, that would follow starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Ben Gordon has been on fire. He's hit his last 6 shots, 11 of his 27 in this fourth quarter. Here is Gordon looking for the screen. Nice pass. Chandler from Heinrich. It is now a 7-point Wizard lead. They've led by as many as 22. The bucket counts and a foul on Jeffries. For Jeffries, it is his third.
Washington tried to mix up their defense here a little bit. Almost looked like a box-and-one with Heinrich. You see, that leaves the middle wide open. And nice dunk, little push from behind on Jeffries. Should have let him go. And unbelievably, guys, Bulls with a chance to pull within 6.
Chandler just 2 of 6 at the line. Not a good free throw shooter at 67% during the regular season. Completes the three-point play. The Wizard lead is down to 6. Scott Skiles has done it for the most part by going with a 3-guard set, and he stays that way. Hughes played by Heinrich. Jamison playing with 5 personal fouls. Arenas, here's Thomas, he lost it. Chandler got a piece of it. Here comes Heinrich. He had Duhan wide open. Heinrich shoots. That was a 3-point attempt, rebounded by Thomas. We're just under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Wizards with the ball, they lead by 6. Hughes off the dribble. And Hughes running into a crowd. He is fouled For the Bulls, it is only their second team foul.
You saw the fourth quarter execution numbers a moment ago on the screen. 5 turnovers in the fourth and just 4 field goals for Washington. A lot of it because of a lack of ball movement. We've talked about it all series. Washington has to get back to that ball movement, player movement, get some rhythm to their game, and withstand this Bulls rush.
In close games, to finish games and close out games, it's important. You have to make free throws, not turn the ball over, and not give up layups or second shots at the defensive end. And that's how Chicago's got back in the game off of Washington's turnovers.
Hughes, 8 of 11 at the line. The foul called on Gordon, his 4th. Wizards now lead 97 to 90. Washington trying to hold on to take a 3-2 lead and make it 3 straight wins over Chicago. They take that lead back to Washington for a Game 6 on Friday night. And remember, the Bulls have not won at the MCI Center since April of 2001. They've lost 10 straight in Washington. Here's Gordon, sets up for 3. Had lots of time, rebounded by Haywood, and he's fouled by Chandler. Try to knock the ball away. That's 5 on Tyson Chandler.
That was a terrific play that Chicago just ran. A little back pick action that freed Ben Gordon. He's got Jeffries on him, so he's got the speed advantage. Tough for Jeffries to chase a guy like Gordon around. Bulls did an excellent job of executing, just couldn't knock the shot down.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Arenas, yes. That's a quick shot by Gilbert Arenas. If there's a good reason for why Chicago is back in this ball game is that Washington has slightly altered their play in the second half. We're seeing quick shots once again. That time Arenas was able to hit. Play by Jamison on the box out as Gordon went flying. Here's Jeffries taking to the rim. Jared Jeffries with the stuff. Wizards lead by 12.
Now, that was a situation in transition. One of the Chicago players fell down. They had an advantage. And that was a nice find on Jeffries. He made a great finish at the bucket.
Here's Chandler getting inside. Washington up by 10. We're down to 3 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Jamison set the pick. Arenas with a pass intended for Haywood, and Haywood has to call for time to save the possession.
Washington has its 20-second timeout, so they may call the 20. They're going to go for the full. Excellent play by Haywood, avoiding the jump ball situation.
Here you can see what we talked about earlier. They get the ball in transition. Jeffries is running the floor. He goes to the bucket. He comes up over both Nocioni and Chandler and finishes with a nice dunk.
Listen up, Sprite Remix. Refresh, rethink, remix. It's all about the new Sprite Remix. Aruba Job.
We're investing over $1 billion in North America. It began with a new design and research center and test track in California, a new engineering facility in Michigan, and now a state-of-the-art assembly plant in Alabama, creating thousands of new jobs across the country. The result will be a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
Armor All. Put it on, and it's always there. It's strong protection.
The best place to watch your favorite college teams? Sports Pack, only from DirecTV. Over 20
Television, a 6-week television event.
The ways of our people must change, or they will die.
Now, both stories will be told. Into the West, starting June 10th, only on TNT.
You want drama? You want the truth? This is the NBA playoffs on TNT.
It's win or go home on TNT. Down 3-2, the Celtics season hangs in the balance.
We will not lose this game. Let's go.
Then, up
3-2. Will the Mavs shut the door on Houston's title hopes? Or can T-Mac and the Rockets force a deciding Game 7?
Let the truth be told.
Celtics Pacers Game 6, Mavericks Rockets Game 6. Tomorrow night on TNT.
Win or go home.
Could y'all step away from what you're doing?
Don't need to be a bitch about it.
If I like being called a bitch to my face, I'd still be married. Hi, Mama. Why does everyone think I'm so horrible? I warned you about lying. Thank you.
Tonight's closer of the game, Ben Gordon of the Chicago Bulls, who has caught fire. Don't miss TNT's new original series, The Closer, Mondays at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, beginning on June the 13th. You see the numbers, 11 of his 27 in the fourth quarter, where he has excelled all season. He's hit 6 of his last 7 shots.
Yeah, but can you be the closer when you're down 10? I mean, he's played beautifully, don't get me wrong, but he's not exactly closing the game.
This was a staff selection.
Well, I guess I'm taking a shot at them.
You were not included on the meeting.
Well, he has made it close. Let's put it that way.
All right, that's the closer.
Jamison. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Chandler. Wizards lead by 10. The Bulls were able to close to get it to 6, led by Ben Gordon. Wizards led by as many as 22 points. That was with 3.5 to go in the third quarter. You are very argumentative tonight, Steve.
I'm feeling my oats a little bit, Marv. It's time to go home. I need rest.
He's also in Chicago. He's king.
Arenas. Davis with the rebound. Just under 3 to go in the fourth quarter. Bulls trying to cut into that 10-point lead. Heinrich pulls it back. Heinrich gets the pick. Good switch by Jamison. Shot clock to 5. They can't find a shot. There's Heinrich. Has to settle for a 2. The tip by Chandler.
I'll give Washington's defense credit. They did a nice job of forcing a tough shot, but that's why Chandler's out there. He's so quick and long. He always has the ability to get up there and get an offensive putback.
8-point Wizard lead. Backdoor pass. Jeffries able to handle. Jamison on the follow, draws the foul. That pass had a little too much on it, but good hands as Jamison ended up with it. It's fouled by Gordon. That's 5 on Gordon, and as Jamison goes to the line, we'll go to Atlanta studios. Here's Ernie.
All right, Marv, Southwest game break. The Nuggets and Spurs coming up next. Earl Boykins only started 5 times this year, but coming off a 32-point effort the last game, he will start tonight for Denver in an elimination game. Just a little nugget for you, so to say.
That is so inside one of the czar Mike Fratello's favorite expressions that we have never heard from anyone else.
And of course, George Karl hoping that move will spur his team on to victory.
Oh, that's good, Steve.
I'm tired.
Jamison missing on both his first appearances at the line. The lead remains at 8. Here's Gordon. Goes through the hands of Davis and handled by Jeffries.
You know, in those situations, you'd like to see him run more offense, be more aggressive. Just don't try to live off that three-point shot. Because right now, Chicago has to close out and make every scoring play down the stretch.
And Hughes had it knocked away by Heinrich, recovered by Jamison. Pops it out. Shot clock at 5. Arenas, good pass. Beautifully done by Gilbert Arenas, finding Antawn Jamison. Chicago calls for time.
Well, it hasn't been pretty, but they're starting to get a little more offensive movement. And here's the pass from Arenas, the penetration to find the quick layup from Antawn Jamison.
Hello, Finals fans. You're on with the doctor. Question: how far would you go for the trophy's love? You're on.
We love her so much, we'll build a monument for her.
Way to aim high. Boston, can you top that?
I'm wearing green, and that's not even my favorite color.
Green is the color of envy. Dallas?
They call it before the games, at halftime, after the games. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's the game the trophy plays. Hard to get. We'll be back with more trophy love lines right after this.
Oh, thank you, guys. What a weekend. Awesome time. Thank you.
Hey, you're marrying a great girl, buddy. Seriously.
Yeah, she is a great girl who would not approve of one single thing we just did. Isn't that your... Well, that's gonna make an interesting toast.
Now look at the Eastern Conference playoff brackets. Miami waiting in the wings for the winner between Chicago and Washington. Boston and Indiana resume tomorrow night here on TNT. Detroit, including matters with Philadelphia last night. We are down to 1:33 to go in this fourth quarter. Wizards back up by 10. That was a beautiful pass a moment ago by Gilbert Arenas, his 8th assist of the night. And Larry Hughes with 30 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 30 points. 1 point off his playoff career high at 31 in game 1 here in Chicago.
Oh, we know these guys can score, as you see here, but I've been impressed with their maturity during this series. They started out a little skittish in game 1. Hughes had a great game, but they were both so offensive-minded that they forgot to get other people involved. I think both of them have matured. They're figuring out what has to be done, and that's what you do during the playoffs. You make adjustments as coaches and as players, and these two guys deserve a lot of credit for this apparent Wizards victory here tonight.
Chandler takes the inbounds. There's Gordon. Wizards not allowing any threes. It's tipped home. Tyson Chandler. Chandler has 21 points. Good pressure on the inbounds pass, but they get it in. Next foul for the Bulls puts them over the limit. 1:15 remaining in the fourth. It's an 8-point game. There is Hughes extending, way off. But Jeffries able to convert. He's come up with some big buckets. 6 of 9, 12 points.
Again, the mismatch with the guard trying to block him out underneath, and he goes up there and gets the easy 2.
Heinrich, Davis, and a foul.
Flip, here's what you're talking about. You've got Jeffries matched up with Gordon, and actually Gordon slides over. That leaves Jeffries available. You see Duhan behind him, and that's what you try to do. If you've got the size advantage, use it when you can, and certainly the offensive boards is a spot where you can absolutely get that done.
Yeah, you mentioned before we were talking about the guards, Arenas, and use their play. And when you look at teams in the league and teams that are successful, they usually have very good guard play. Because if you have good guards, they will keep you in games. You don't turn the ball over. If they're intelligent, smart, they make the right play and they keep you in games. And that's been one of the big reasons right now, these last 3 games. Washington right now is on the verge of going up 3-2 because of their guard play and how dominant they've been.
This a Wizard team that went 45-37 in the regular season, finished as the number 5 seed in the East, 2 games behind Chicago. Gordon able to rescue it. Here's Heinrich finding Gordon for 3, coming up short, and Derek Stafford away from the ball, indicating a foul. It is on Jeffries. Wizards are over the foul limit, so that stops the clock with 46 seconds remaining in the fourth. And now Tyson Chandler back to the line. He's only 3 of 7 at that line.
These games are so agonizing as a player, and I know as a coach, you're Washington, you've dominated this game, and yet that you're still not quite there. And for the last hour or so, this club, the whole team is on the bench, just kind of hoping they get through this thing.
It seems every possession you say, well, if we make this possession, the game's going to be over. It seems like it's been that way for about the last 3 minutes. And I'm sure in that last possession, Coach Eddie Jordan over there is thinking, if we can stop them on this possession and get it, you get a missed shot, but then they get the foul, which puts them at the line where in Scott Skiles' situation, it's perfect. They're getting points with the shot clock not moving, or the clock not moving.
Off the back tap. Hughes is on it, and here is Hughes. So the Wizards now lead 108-98. You saw the speed of Larry Hughes able to chase it down. The Bulls take a timeout. It's a 20-second timeout. So they have 1 timeout remaining. And we'll stay right here with 41 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Larry Hughes now, new career playoff high, 32 points, along with 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Let's check in again with Ernie Johnson. Ernie?
Yeah, Marv, again, the Southwest game break to let you know that we are nearing the tip in San Antonio. You see Marcus Camby, Kenyon Martin shaking hands with Tony Parker and Tim Duncan as they get ready for Game 5 in this series. San Antonio leading 3-1. Back to you.
Well, the Spurs hoping to close it out tonight, coming off that overtime win. Game 4, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili combining for 92 points against the Nuggets. And Washington looking to take this back to the MCI Center for a Game 6 on Friday night. Wizards on their way to making it 3 straight wins after they lost the first 2 here in Chicago. Remember, only 8 teams have come back from an 0-2 deficit to win a best of 7. Pargo just checked in, knocks down a 3. It's a 7-point game. Then Pargo gives the foul, so that will put Arenas at the line with 38.7 remaining.
What you're looking for down the stretch, as we talked about, you have to make free throws. You look at Chicago, they're in a situation, they're hoping miss free throws. They don't have many timeouts left, and so they're going to have to push the ball up in transition and try to get a quick 3.
Of course, Arenas an 81% foul shooter. He's 5 of 7 on the night, but he's the guy you want if you're Eddie Jordan at the foul line. Well, maybe. Like I said, Hughes is the guy you want at the foul line.
Big number for Arenas tonight, 8 assists. He's only 4 of 13 from the field, getting the treatment from this crowd. Bulls do have 1 timeout remaining as Arenas knocks down 1 of 2, 109-101, Washington. Gordon can't find the shot. Pargo, he shoots the 3 and hits. Jannero Pargo, who was able to convert 4 from downtown in Game 4, and he's cut it to a 5-point Wizard lead with 28 and 4/10 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
Talk about instant offense. This guy's been sitting on the bench for a couple of hours, comes out, knocks down 1 from the corner and another from the top.
My grandson wants to be an astronaut, so he has a telescope and is hooked up to his computer. Andromeda, we saw it. The rings of Saturn, the Cat's Eye Nebula, I didn't know it was there, but we saw it. We just type in the name of a star, and off we go, just like astronauts.
Start something cosmic. Start anything you like. Choose from a world of software and devices that run on Windows.
Moms, they have so much to deal with. That's why they really deserve an extra cool Mother's Day gift from Radio Shack. She'll love this Verizon Wireless 8910 camera phone for only $29.99. Buy one and get one free with 2-year agreements per phone. No wonder Radio Shack sells more wireless phones than any other consumer electronics retailer. Yes, for all Mom has to put up with, she's worthy of the best this year. From Radio Shack, we make it easy.
You must rise up, fight for what you believe in.
It's win or go home.
Your destiny lies at the end of the crusade.
Southwest game break yet again. Carmelo Anthony preparing for his 9th career postseason game. Had his high of 28 in the last game, an overtime loss by the Nuggets to the Spurs. It's win or go home for the Nuggets tonight. That's game 2 of our doubleheader. Let's go back to Marv and company.
All right, thanks, Ernie. Jannero Pargo doing his best work in the final minutes of games the other night. He hit 4 of 6 overall from downtown with the game basically out of sight. But 10 of his 18 points came in the final, 67 seconds. He's hit a couple of threes here. So that Wizard lead is down to 5.
Perhaps our staff should vote on a new closer. Maybe we do that a little early.
Well, he's made it close. He hasn't closed it.
Well, it's true.
That was your argument before.
That's true.
And now you're pushing for the guy that did the same thing that Ben Gordon did.
Don't call me out. Let's not get confused here.
Flippin' has become very annoying. Jamison is fouled. Duhan and Pargo all over Jamison. Antawn Jamison missed 2 at the line just moments ago. So Jamison with 25 and 2/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Well, you have to be really impressed tonight. Gilbert has played all 48 minutes. He's played a very good all-around game, passed the ball well, he has 8 assists. Has not shot the ball maybe as well as he would like, but he's played a very good all-around game.
Jamison, a 76% free throw shooter, has now missed 3 straight.
Well, it's tough when you go to the line, even if you're a good foul shooter and you've just missed 2 earlier, to get to the free throw line in a pressure situation. He's not at all comfortable there right now.
Bulls have 1 timeout left. Wizards have 1 full and a 20. He misses again. The Bulls still alive, down by 5. 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Heinrich. Gordon gives it up. Pargo wanted the 3. Finds Heinrich from downtown. Yes! It's a 2-point game. 11 and 6/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter.
Marv, half this crowd has left. They should get back in this building. Look at the ball movement. Pargo drawing so many defenders because he's just knocked down 2. He finds Heinrich, who nails the 3. It's a 2-point game.
And on the inbounds, Pargo committing a quick foul. So that'll put Hughes at the line. Apparently that happened simultaneously as the shot went in. So the Wizards lead 109-107. And Hughes will go to the line. He's 9 of 12 at the line. The officials talking it over. You see Derek Stafford and Bob Delaney over at the scorer's table. Let's take another look.
Well, I think what they're talking about is if the foul occurred before the ball was inbounds, then it would be 1 shot and the ball out on the side for Washington. But it's clear there he makes the foul after the ball has been passed.
And they were checking on the clock. They reset it to 11 and 4/10 seconds. So now Hughes getting the treatment. He's a 78% foul shooter. Misses on the first. Jamison missed 2 a moment ago. Bulls do have 1 timeout remaining. They have come back from 22 down. They've missed 6 of the last 7 free throws. So it is now a 3-point Wizard lead, and Scott Skiles will use Chicago's final timeout. A remarkable turn here in the final minutes.
What did your father tell you of your obligations? From the director of Gladiator. Protect the people. An oath to his father made him a crusader.
We defend all!
An invincible enemy. He has 200,000 men. He will be executed. Made him a leader.
To take this city will be the end of you.
This Friday, the first great motion picture event of the summer. Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven. Rated R.
This is Monica, who logged on to Delta.com and printed her boarding pass at home so she could go straight to the gate, which freed up Nady to help Mike, who had to be on time for an early arrival. It starts with something good, like printing your boarding pass on Delta.com. From there, one good thing leads to another. Delta. Good goes around. The official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
Southwest game break. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. They are underway at SBC Center in San Antonio. Andre Miller and Tony Parker have swapped early baskets. And with 9:37 to play and counting now in the first period, it's a 2-2 game. Back to you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Ernie. Improbable finish here at the United Center in Chicago. Wizards led by as many as 22. It is now a 3-point lead. Chicago ball. They do not have any timeouts remaining. 11.4 to go in this fourth quarter.
Well, I think you go for the 3 here if you're Chicago. You can go for the quick 2, but you don't have any timeouts left, so I would expect a scrambling Chicago offense to try to find a 3-pointer.
I think what they're going to look to do is they're going to look to get a shot off the pass. Therefore, if they score or don't score, they can foul with 9 seconds left in the game. But the important thing is they got to get a good look, not take a forced shot.
If you're Washington, Flip, do you foul here? Do you not let them get the three? That's the big question.
If it goes under 5 seconds, I'd look to foul in that situation.
The Wizards led by 10 points with 40 seconds left. So here we are, 29 seconds later. It's a 3-point game. Heinrich will throw in. 11.4 to go. Heinrich, and the foul is given. Foul committed by Jeffries. That is number 5. That'll put Heinrich at the line with Washington over the foul limit. Heinrich is 3 of 3 at the line.
Well, Jordan decides to foul, but I think it's too early because now if you're Heinrich, you can go ahead and make these two. Now Washington is going to probably have to go back to the free throw line at the other end and knock down a couple of more pressure shots.
As we talked about before, as he misses that one and throws all your strength. But we said 9 seconds. You want to be in a situation where you have a 1-possession game with 9 seconds. The timeout, not having it, is not as important. They're going to foul right away. They hope to get a miss at the other end. They're going to get a push up the floor and get a shot to hopefully tie it up.
And Heinrich, a solid free throw shooter, just under 80% on the season. 9 2/10 seconds to go. He misses on both, but Heinrich gets to it. Here's Pargo for the tie. Yes! A 3 for Pargo! The game is tied at 1:10 with 5 2/10 seconds remaining in regulation. The Wizards call for time. A stunning finish at the United Center.
You have got to be kidding me. Heinrich doesn't even try to miss it. The ball comes right back to him. Pargo, of all people, has just nailed 2 and a third. This crowd is going absolutely nuts.
Missed free throw. Look at Heinrich finding Pargo. Pargo making a contested shot. Great shot.
Who's boxing out the shooter?
Gennaro Pargo in his 3rd year out of Arkansas, on fire again down the stretch. An amazing finish here at the United Center. Chicago Bulls with a 12-2 run the last 34 seconds. Wizards missed 6 of the last 7 free throws. Washington still with an opportunity to win the ball game. How do they play it?
Well, they've got to overcome what's happened now and settle in. I think they got to get the ball to Arenas or Hughes, get some penetration going to the rim.
Take the shot at the buzzer so you know you're going to win or go into overtime.
All right, Anthony Peeler has checked in. He will inbound. 5 2/10 seconds to go. Pargo with his 3rd 3 in the final minute. Tied the game at 1:10. He's defending on the inbounds pass. They're on their feet here in Chicago. Arenas, played by Heinrich. Both teams over the limit. Here's Arenas. This for the win. Yes! It's over! The Wizards have defeated the Bulls. They come right back following the Chicago comeback. They win at the buzzer on the jumper by Gilbert Arenas.
Wow. Incredible. Arenas, the best player on the floor, the most athletic, the quickest. So you get him the ball on the top, flatten things out. Look at the move up and over Heinrich. What a finish.
What I like about it, he had patience. He got the ball on top. He was not rushed. And when he went to shoot the ball, he was face up. He got really a good look at it. And he loves to go left and shoot that fadeaway shot.
One of the spectacular games of this first round playoff run.
Incredible, incredible. And how about the play of Arenas after the really basic choke job by this team over the last 35 seconds?
So the Wizards have taken a 3-2 lead. They've won 3 in a row. They can wrap it back in Washington on Friday night. Let's go to Craig and Gilbert Arenas.
Well, Gilbert, first of all, tell me what playoff pressure is like, will you?
I mean, this is tough. You know, we had them down by a lot. You know, like they've been playing us all year. They've been coming back in the 4th quarter. And, you know, Pargo did a great job coming off the bench and sparking his team up. And, you know, they didn't say it was going to be easy.
They always said you could get your shot off anytime you wanted. Sometimes you took too many ill-advised shots. But here in the final play, you knew you were going to take the shot all the way?
Yeah. You know, I've been setting up the team, you know, all night long. And, you know, I'm going to win the game. That's what I do.
You lost the first 2 games here, but you came back and won the next 3. What's been the biggest difference or adjustment?
You know, we just tried to get out to a good start and hold the lead. You know, they're such a great shooting team that we know they were going to come back. We just had to withstand, you know, and make sure they don't, you know, get it all at one time, and we're just trying to rebound and make free throws.
What does winning a Game 5 mean to you on an opposing court?
I mean, it's great for us. We came in here with a lot of pride, a lot of. I can't even think right now. We're just happy right now.
All right, well, congratulations on the win. I know you'll be watching the replay. Let's go back to Marv.
All right, thanks, Craig. They did review it. It was a last-second shot. There was no question about it. It was officially ruled good. The game winner by Gilbert Arenas, following the dramatics of Gennaro Pargo. Again, the final score, the Wizards 112, the Bulls 110. They take a 3-2 lead in this best of 7. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager saying so long from Chicago following a quick break. We'll take you to San Antonio for Game 5 of the Spurs and Nuggets.